certification training program. So let me get my point here. Yeah. So this is my profile, which you already know. So this is going to be our learning in this particular session. I might complete before lunch, just before lunch, or we may continue even after the lunch. So we will try to understand what is Six Sigma performance. We'll also understand DPMO and PPM. Then we will understand operational excellence, process improvement approach, the quality principles, already Dr. RK has covered. Then problem solving methodologies, the various methodologies, little comparison will do. And then history of Six Sigma and the DMAC methodology of Six Sigma and various belt levels. And then one case study. And you may find it a little difficult to understand the case study if we discuss right at the beginning, but still we'll try to make an effort to understand. And then as we progress and towards the end of the course, you will be able to better appreciate each and everything. Okay.
Gopal
To
sir, just 1
understand
minute.
straight away. Yes.
Gopal sir, 1 minute. Sorry for interrupting you. So, sir, will we get this PPTs because while listening to the class, it will be very difficult to write down points. That's what just asking.
No, that has been already shared with all of you, the module 1. And then the rest of the modules will also be shared, once you complete the application and documentation procedure. So Prabhakaran will be able to share everything. No worries. All right?
Sir, Professor.
Ashit, is that okay?
Sir, RK.
Sir, you are not audible to me. RK, sir, you are not audible to me.
Now you are audible. I am audible. Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you,
Ashit, you are able to understand what I explained?
Yeah, I got it, sir. No worries.
Sir, Shivkumar, can you get me?
I think, okay. Audio
Gopal
is
Shivkumar, can you
my
get
end.
me? Sir, can you listen?
Now only I could hear RK. Yes, I can listen to you now.
Please note your video, you have it in the slideshow mode because everything is visible, presentation mode, everything.
Oh, some people are saying it is not visible.
No, presenters mode also is visible.
You are in
All
presenter
right,
mode. Yeah.
Yeah, presenter mode is available. So we will be reading
presenter
what is
mode is available.
Yeah.
No, make it slideshow.
Okay, that is.
Yeah. Now it's
I
okay.
don't read. No, I don't read it from that. But then still there is an issue. Okay.
No. We will read it from there.
Make it perfect.
We will read it, sir.
Okay. Should be all right now. It should be fully visible.
Yes, sir.
It is now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Fully visible. Yeah. Presentation board
Very
now.
good.
Perfect, sir.
So let's understand what is Six Sigma performance with a simple, case. We all know the Mumbai Dabbawalas. Mumbai has a population of around 30 million and, where there are a set of 5,000 people who are involved in a particular service. They collect your lunch bag from your house and then deliver at your workplace. And again, they reverse it in the evening. All of you might have read about them, right? So recently an article has come in Forbes magazine saying that their performance is well above the Six Sigma capability. Well above Six Sigma capability. In Six Sigma, we talk about 3.4 defects per million opportunities. But this team of people, with a kind of system, process, and whatever they have, they were able to achieve this kind of performance. One mistake in 16 million transactions. Every single day, they make about 2 lakh transactions. Tell me how many days it might take for them to reach this 16 million transaction?
8 days.
Simple
8
maths.
days.
Not 8 days. It will take
80
more
days.
days.
4 days, yeah.
80 days. That means literally one complaint is received in 80 days. This is their level of performance. This is far, far better than the Six Sigma performance, which claim to give a performance of 3.4 DPMO. That means the failures are limited to lesser than 3.4 DPMO. So what does DPMO stand for? Defects per million opportunities. Now we should have a proper clarity on each and every terminology involved. Defects. So what is a defect? Any form of non-conformance. If customer has a requirement and you are not able to fulfill, then the gap is called a defect. Hope all of you agree with me. So we know what is a defect, the basic definition of a defect. And million means 10 lakhs. Opportunities. Opportunity is nothing but defect opportunity. How many defects are possible in a particular product? Do you think multiple defects are possible in a product, in any product or any service? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Multiple defects are possible. Let us imagine a product where 5 defects are possible. That means the defect opportunity is 5. So this is what we call it DPMO. But now what we understood here is the Dabbawala's performance, the traditional Dabbawala's performance is well ahead of Six Sigma performance. Now tell me, what could be the reason for such a tremendous performance? And if you look at the people, they're all below average. Hope all of you agree with me on this, right? Some of them are not even educated. They have not undergone any training like what we are currently having. But still, they could achieve such a tremendous performance. So what is the secret? Come on, all of you, please go ahead. All the teams.
They will
Team
have a
one
guidelines.
and,
They will have a guidelines.
very good. They have guidelines. Fantastic.
Better coordination.
Color coding system.
Quality,
Practice.
quality
See,
of work.
quality is the outcome, final outcome. Yes,
Practice.
color coding. Color
Same
coding.
thing on a regular basis.
Their process is already set.
Set process.
Yes, sir.
Determined
They
and process.
had a
They- they
well-defined process.
They follow
and
the
system.
procedures. Not
Work
deviate
as
process.
work as a correct procedure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they have a SOP procedure and people are just following it. And that procedure is nothing but, the step-by-step activity of the process. And I really go with, appreciate Subhash Thakur's point. They had a good process. Their process and systems are so brilliant that it can even produce result with average and below average people. People are not brilliant, but the process is so brilliant in a way that it will make defects impossible. The process is designed in a way that the defects are made impossible. And still, rarely these kind of defects happen. Now, coming on to the other side, you see Swiggy and Zomato, the modern Dabbawalas. We all, avail their service. Do you think they are able to perform, give us a defect-free services?
No, sir.
Or are we experiencing any defect? We are
There's a
experiencing
defect.
defects.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some of the defects they do and then, that which leads to customer dissatisfaction?
Wrong food delivery.
Wrong
and then-
delivery.
And
That means they delivered you a wrong food. You ordered
yes.
and they delivered a non-vegetarian food. Something like that.
No.
Delay on
Delayed
delivery.
High lead time.
Okay, so delivery time. They took time more than the committed delivery time. The
Yes.
first possible defect is a wrong food. You ordered idli, but they gave you some, dosa. Or you ordered vegetarian and they delivered non-vegetarian food. So that's the first defect. The second defect is food is delivered late. The committed time is something, but then the food did not arrive within that committed time. What are the other possibilities of defect?
One more case is, sir, like they book the order and
Foul
at the last minute
packaging.
they'll cancel.
Transparency as well.
Yeah, packaging is not good. There is a leakage. Food gets mixed up on its way during the transit. The packaging is not tacked enough. It gets affected easily by rain and everything, and so That finally affects the end result. So third defect was also understood. Now the fourth form of defect. Is there anything else that can happen?
The
That can
information
go wrong?
and transparency, sir.
Item missing.
Information.
Item missing.
Item is
Misinformation
missing.
and
Okay,
transparency.
missed items. Okay, missed items. Everything is there, but what the main ingredient was missing, or a particular menu item is missing. Very good. This is another type of failure. So 4 defects you have defined.
One more I have, sir. Can I add?
Yeah, please.
Sir, what happened? Like, sometimes we place the order and finally it get, what you call cancel the last minute, wherein the information wouldn't be reaching us. So that is also one of
Who
the
will
type.
cancel?
Means
Who
it
will
will get
cancel?
cancelled from there
The
and
hotel
later
fellow.
on.
Hotel, yeah. Right, correct. The hotel fellow, sometimes they don't accept your order. Possible. 5th defect opportunity.
Sir, sometimes they deliver on wrong address.
That's that we already considered. What the other thing what can happen is the delivery boy behavior may not be as expected. He might be rude. He might be using the bad language, or his attitude wise he might be wrong. So this is 5th possible 5th or 6th possible failure. So how many types of failure we just now understood with respect to Swiggy or Zomato? 6.
6.
These are called defect opportunities. These are called defect opportunities. For any product or service, the starting point is, if you want to talk about quality, the starting point is you should understand the defect opportunities. Right? If you don't perform with respect to these characteristics, then customer will call it a defect. Customer will call it a defect. So these characteristics are very, very important to the customer, which means you should always deliver within the committed time, within the committed delivery time. This is known as critical to quality characteristics. Critical to quality characteristics. Another thing is your packaging should be tagged, and you should never deliver wrong food. And you should never, the delivery boy should behave properly, right? And you should maintain the discipline and decorum. And so these are all critical to quality characteristics. All of you understand what is CTQ here? The very, very first, important terminology in Six Sigma is understanding the CTQ. What does CTQ stand for? Critical to quality.
Critical to quality.
Quality.
Why do we call it critical? Because if you don't fulfill, then customer will take it very seriously and might start calling your products as defective products, and then he can make a claim. So the success of the business always depends on understanding the CTQs. If you want your product to be successful or your service to be successful, the first thing is you must have a clarity on the CTQs. Afternoon, we are going to have an exercise. All the questions, whatever you asked, you yourself will find the answer if you come up with a list of CTQs in your product and services.
Sir, what is
right? If you could fulfill, the requirements with respect to all the CTQs, that means you are offering a best-in-class product to your customer. Everything that they want, they are able to see in your product, they are able to see in your service, and this is what we call it, the quality. So when we talk about the Six Sigma, the expected performance is the failures must be lesser than 3.4 DPMO. We define Six Sigma from the failure point of view, right? The defect rate should be lesser than 3.4 DPMO. That means if I produce 1 million products, customer should be able to see only 3 or 4 defects. We will further precise this understanding with a live exercise. Maybe another 15 minutes from now, we are going to do. For that purpose only, we asked you to buy a GEMS chocolate. Hope all of you have it. We'll be doing that exercise. So all of you now, do you understand what is Six Sigma performance from the perspective of DPMO? The failure rate should be lesser than 3.4 DPMO so that you can say your performance is Six Sigma performance. The first way of understanding Six Sigma performance. Now, this is the situation behind the Dabbawalas. People are average, but process is so brilliant. As a result, they are able to produce good results. Understood?
Yes, sir.
You should always have a check on this. What kind of process you have and what kind of people we have. Here also we have the training program going on. So training is also a process, isn't it? Teaching is a process. Learning is a process. Assessment is a process. Every organization is a collection of process, right? And so now, here also it's important. There has to be no brilliant people working with the brilliant process so that the results can be fantastic. Now let us understand about the other combination. You have brilliant people, but then your processes are poor. That means it is prone to fail frequently. Now what will happen? Your results will be
Poor.
even though you have brilliant people on your side, just because the process is designed in a wrong manner, the results has to be poor. Now, the third option, which is the ultimate, you have a brilliant process as well as brilliant people. Now your results should obviously be great results. You become unstoppable, right? Nobody can stop you from succeeding, right? So this is what is needed to be created in every workplace. Your process by nature should have the brilliance. Process brilliance in the sense, it will make the defects almost impossible. In Six Sigma, we talk about perfection. We talk about near perfection. We bring up the capability of the process to the level that defects are almost impossible, right? And the advantage is we can think of some great results, and which means we can really aim excellence and really aim, positions like market leader. Now let's try to understand this with a live exercise, a small kind of experiment we will do. So I am going to give all of you a small task, right? And we are going to understand what kind of combination we are here, right? So the task is I will be showing some numbers and some symbols on my screen. And there will be 45 seconds for it. You all have to memorize. You all have to memorize the numbers and symbols. Is that instruction crystal clear?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
45 seconds, I'll be showing the numbers and symbols, and you are going to memorize. Are we ready?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And don't be over smart. You don't have to write anything. Just look at the screen and try to memorize, right? So your time starts now. 45 seconds. Hope you all have memorized the numbers and symbols. Now I will give you another 45 seconds so that you can reproduce in your notebook, right? Shall we go for it?
Yes, sir.
Please go for it. Your time starts now. Now try to match the number and the symbol. If you could match the number and symbol, yes, you get a score.
Sir, can we have again, sir?
What do you want?
Can we have again for quick thing? Can't we have again? It's same thing.
Yeah, second round. Second round, you will have it again. Now you try. Let's see what's our first time performance.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. I have some more time for the other participants. Last 10 more seconds. Yeah, I know some people will be smart. They could finish, but everyone has to finish. Now time is over. Please, all of you stop writing. So don't worry about the result. Let's stick to the process, right? Now let's do a cross verification. Do a self-assessment and see how many numbers and symbols you are able to match perfectly, and share your score in the chat box. Or you can announce how much you got.
Yeah, myself, I matched
Don't
5.
worry about the score. We are only learning. So we could see
I matched 5.
Mondal saying all correct, Aniket saying 9 correct, Kishore saying 5 correct, Rajesh saying 5 correct, Ankit 5, 10, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9, 3, 6. So many numbers you all could see. First thing is, we are not able to achieve consistent result. Can you see that, all of you? Our result is not consistent. Am I right? That means there is a lot of variation in the result. Can I say? There is a lot of variation. The score is varying from 3 to 10. If there is a variation in your output, definitely customer has a lot of opportunity to find fault. Your outputs, if the output has a lot of variation, that means some of your items are not acceptable. Am I correct?
Correct.
Right.
Please note.
Yes, sir.
Variation is the indicator of the problem that is happening. Now we could understand the problem. All of you, some of you were struggling to memorize and struggling to reproduce. Now what went wrong? Is that the instruction was not given correctly, or you don't want to do correctly?
It was not in the sequence.
I got the
See,
concept.
normally we have the
Actually,
tendency
odd
to
numbers have
analyze
to.
and try to figure out and blame people. But what is required is we should try to analyze the process and try to improve. Now what happened? Your chance of reducing your problem or your chance of improving your results will increase. So now what I do is I am going to make a small improvement here, and then we'll redo the exercise and see what happens. Now the same set of numbers and same set of symbols, but I have arranged the number in a logical order. Can you see that now? Earlier it was in some order, but now there is a logical order you can see. And is it now easy for you to memorize?
Yes.
So I made
Yes.
some improvements in the process which you all followed. As a result, now you are able to store the information easily. If the storage has become easily, automatically the retrieval will happen easily. All right. Now tell me, will you be able to score better?
Yes, sir.
Will you be able to score better?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
And will you also be able to perform faster?
Yeah.
Do you think
Sure.
Yes.
you can do it
Yes.
faster?
Yes, sir.
at
Yes.
the
Yes.
And now tell me how much time you might require to memorize. You don't require 45
5
seconds now. Tell me what should be the time
5 to 10
you can.
seconds.
Sir, 5 to 20 seconds, sir. 10 seconds.
Oh, really? That means you have become excellent. 5 to 10 seconds is nothing compared to the original 45 seconds. And now that means you are able to improve your performance, that too in less time. What is the magic? The magic is we improved the process. Am I right? We stopped blaming the people and straight away we focused on improving our process. That's why we achieved this kind of drastic improvement. And there is no end for improvement. It's a never-ending journey. Let me show you the next level of improvement. Now you have the same set of numbers and same set of symbols, but then it is much, much easier, much more easier. Tell me how much time you require now to memorize.
5 to
Even
10 seconds.
4 to 5
Really,
seconds.
5 seconds, right? Will you also be able to reproduce in 5 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Do you think all of you will get 10 out of 10?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
This is what is excellence. This is what is excellence. Now we can say we do have a brilliant combination. We have the process as well as the people ready to perform. People are ready to perform, and we have a process which is brilliant enough to guide them. The result is operational excellence. Great results. Your competitor cannot stand in front of you. You will be able to easily outperform them, and slowly you will grow in the market and you will become market leader very soon. So process improvement is the key in making your company number one. Right? And the moment your process becomes, perfect, I mean, your process becomes very effective, start delivering defect-free outputs. Now you can think about automation. You can think about automation because now that, you are able to achieve perfection, now you automate it. Try to adopt the latest technologies, the best technology that is available. Minimize the human intervention. Let the machines do everything. And you control everything through your mobile phone. That's all. Industry 4.0. The basis is process, highly capable process. All of you can see the connection.
Gopal,
We
sir.
are here to
Yes.
understand. We are here to understand how can we systematically improve our process. The whole course is to understand how can we scientifically improve our process. Thereby the improvement is permanent. Thereby the improvement is sustainable. Otherwise, what happens? You improve and then again it goes down. You will see some improvement in your results, but within another couple of months, you will lose those results. That's not a systematic improvement. The improvement should be sustainable. So the secret behind improving your business results is process improvement. Agreed, all of you? Every result you
Yes.
see is an
Yes.
outcome of a process. And now process improvement, you can do it, in two different thought process. One is you improve a process just to meet your short-term goals. You improve your process just to meet your short-term goals. They are called a small improvement approach. You can use process improvement to meet your, keeping, the background idea is to meet your long-term goals. That means your process improvement ideology is properly backed up by a strategic planning. Your company has got a clear goals. Right? The company has got clear goals. We call them as the long-term goals are known as strategic goals, which means an effort, consistent effort over a period of 3 to 5 years is essential to achieve the goal. Then only the goals are known as strategic goal. So what are strategic goals? Goals which are achievable over a period of 3 to 5 years. They are known as strategic goals. Nothing but the long-term goals. In order to achieve your strategic goals, you must have strategies. So what are strategies? Goal means you all know, right? What do you want to achieve in 3 years? Then what are strategies? Imagine you all want to reach a destination. The destination is your goal. Now what is required next? The direction is required, right? To reach the destination. Can I go through the shortest route? Or should I take a roundabout? The direction is provided by the strategy. Always strategies must be limited to 1 or 2 or at the maximum 3. If you have more than 3 strategies, that means it is as good as not having any strategy. Focusing on too many things is as good as focusing on nothing. So always strategies must be limited to 1 or 2. And now your goal is very clear. Your strategies are also very clear. Now you just have to do one thing. You have to align all the efforts in the desired direction. Am I right? There are different departments. There are thousands of people working for you. And you are very clear with your goal, destination. Now you simply have to make sure everyone is aligned. That is, you need to synergize. You need to synergize every small piece of activity that is happening on a daily basis should help your organization move in the strategic direction. If you make it happen, that means a campaign has started. That means a campaign has started. What is this campaign? To make our company number 1 in the market. The moment the campaign is started, you can proudly say your company is on an operational excellence journey. Everyone is clear about the direction now. But who will ensure that everyone is clear, whether they like it or not? They have to move in the strategic direction only. Now, who should ensure this? The top management. The top line managers, called the leaders, they are responsible for developing the strategic goals and developing the strategies. All of you agree with me up to this?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
so strategic goals are long-term in nature that requires 3 to 5 years time. It doesn't mean that you can relax for 3 years. You must start working from now. So the strategic goals will be broken down into smaller version. Now they become achievable in a year's time. That means strategic goals are drilled down to annual goals. Now the responsibility for achieving the annual goals are passed on to the mid-level managers. Understood? And in order to freeze on the annual goals, there has to be a series of meetings happening between the top line managers and the mid-line managers. Because the top line managers are very clear about what do they want to achieve and how do they want to achieve. So what I want to achieve, based on what I want to achieve and how I want to achieve, you should understand what you should achieve in 1 year. For that, we will be sitting several rounds of meeting to make the midline managers very clear about their annual goals. But what is very, very important is your annual goal should be in line with the strategic goal of the organization. Clear, all of you?
Yes.
The annual goals are now known as tactical goals. The annual goals are now known as tactical goals. Every strategic goal can be drilled down to multiple tactical goals. If there are 2 strategic goals, there can be 5 or 10 tactical goals. Now, annual goals I want to achieve. If needed, the annual goals are also drilled down further to convert them into further smaller version. They are now called as operational goals. They are now called as operational goals. You know who will be responsible for the operational goals? The downline managers. You have 3 levels of management, isn't it? Top management, middle management, and then the down level management. So the downline managers are responsible for operational goals. The midline managers are responsible for tactical goals. The top line managers are responsible for strategic goals, so that the business owner or the top management will achieve their objective. Clear, all of you? Now
Yes, sir. Yes.
now the effort, every piece of effort is going in the right direction. If this is not carried out, if this exercise is not carried out or not planned properly, your organization will incur a lot of directional loss. This is known as directional loss. People will be, putting efforts in different direction. And then organization will wonder why, in spite of working, working hard, we are not able to achieve the results. We are not able to meet the target. It is simply because of the directional loss. So there are approaches again here to ensure the directional loss is completely eliminated. And how to ensure that, you will be learning at the advanced level of the course. What do we call it as? MBB program, Master Black Belt program. All right. But now the purpose of the green belts or the black belts is to ensure, right, is to ensure every single project. We'll talk at the project level. We'll also understand what are projects. Every single projects deliver results. If every single project deliver results, gradually your operational goals will be achieved. If operational goals are achieved, your annual goal will be achieved. If annual goals are achieved consistently, then your strategic goals will be achieved. Your organization will start seeing a considerable growth in terms of market share. This is called breakthrough improvement. So manage the top line, which means manage the strategy well, manage your people, manage your products. Your bottom line will automatically improve. Bottom line is nothing but your profitability. Your operating cost, you will see your operating cost going down. You will see your profitability going up because you managed the top line very well. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, here Lean Six Sigma is a top-down approach. It is driven from the top, and then only it can be highly successful. Otherwise, Lean Six Sigma, you will be using Lean Six Sigma only for achieving small improvement. That's not the purpose at all. You can use Lean Six Sigma for small improvement, means your one project is successful. That's not a big challenge at all. Every project should be successful next 3 years. That is the real objective. This is called breakthrough improvement. Now your organization will see significant growth in profit, significant growth in market share, significant growth in customer retention rate, in all business result. The share price will go up. Now, let us again come to the operational goal. All of you now have an idea about operational goals?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Short-term goals. Maybe your 6 months goal or your quarterly goal or your monthly goal. Now, all the goals are very clear. We'll also talk about how to write a goal statement in the define phase. So, now all the goals are very clear, very specific and very clear, quantified. Now you just have to ask yourself, are you really ready now to achieve the goal? Or do you see any gap? Gap in the sense, let's say you don't have enough resource. Let's say the resource may be you don't have proper machineries. Technologically, you are not ready. That means you are not going to achieve the operational goal, isn't it? So you have to upgrade. Let's say you have a shortage of machinery. Now you must, that is called a gap. Now this gap must be fulfilled. Let's say you don't have enough manpower. Now people must be recruited. How do you understand all these gaps? Because you are clear about what you want to achieve, isn't it? If you don't have a clarity on what you want to achieve, you will not even be able to realize that all these gaps. It can be the machineries, it can be manpower, or it can be the skill, or it can be the gap in terms of your process capability. You have process, you have system, but they are not really competent enough to achieve the goal you want. All of you, do you understand the gap here? If there is a skill gap, now the HR department will pick it up as a project. If there is a manpower shortage, again the project goes to HR department. If you think the processes are not up to the mark, now it is normally handled by the QC department currently, isn't it? But we should think about not just quality control, but also quality improvement. Quality control is detecting the problem, but quality improvement is preventing the problem, right? So we should think about that. So the QC, QI team will focus on process improvement. All right. So the gaps are understood. And suppose you feel technologically you are inferior to your competitors, then you need to upgrade. All these gaps are nothing but the improvement opportunities. Clear to all of you? All these
Yeah.
gaps are nothing but the improvement opportunities, also called as projects. Also called as projects. Unless and until you execute these projects, you are not going to achieve the operational goals. If your projects are successful, people will effortlessly achieve the operational goal. Throughout the year, all the goals are achieved. Now what will happen? Tactical goals will get achieved. You repeat this 3 years. Now strategic goals are achieved. Now you see your company significantly growing. All of you understand? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think one of you
Yes,
spoke
yes.
about project identification. For project identification, there has to be a proper understanding of the goals. Where should we reach? Are we ready? What is the gap? What is the in which format that exists? So which department is responsible for filling up the gap? Now the project goes to that particular department. All right. And now improvement can be easy improvement and some improvements can be, challenging. Simply because the gap is complex in nature. Let's say you have a process that's, producing a lot of defects. People are not even not able to stop it. Every time it is every single shift, there is a lot of rejection happening. Every day there are customer complaints coming. That means certain problems are really complex in nature and people cannot even figure out the root cause of the problem. They take some action, but still they are not really able to attack the root cause. And so the problem keeps on happening again and again. The problem becomes recurring in nature. Such problems becomes the candidate for Six Sigma methodology. And so the Six Sigma bells will be handling such projects. But if there is a problem and with a clear solution readily available, there are small improvements. You're ready to implement, right? But broadly you can categorize the problems into small problems and then complex problems. So if your company has the habit of fixing all the problems when they are small itself, they could easily avoid all the big problems. That means a good culture towards continuous improvement and quality is very, very important. All right. So if your organization is planning for some strategic growth, the strategies have to be very clear. First requirement. The strategies have to be very clear. And then you need some KPIs. Why KPIs are required? Key performance indicator. You must develop KPI and then you should monitor the KPI. Then only you know whether your company is moving in the correct direction or not. Right? KPI is nothing but a number or a metric which will tell you your direction of progress. Because you are very clear with the goals, and if the KPI is moving towards the goal, towards the target, now you are happy about it. If the KPI is moving in a zigzag manner, you are not happy, isn't it? So KPIs are definitely required, and then your organization requires strong systems and process, which are made capable to the extent that defects are highly impossible, right? And you also need a high performing team so that if any gap is sensed, they will immediately fill up those gaps. Otherwise, the gap will become, a bigger one, and then that will slow down your progress. And the outcome is you are now ready to become operationally excellent. Operationally excellent means your daily activities have now become better than your competitors. That means you are competing well. And for sure, by rule of nature, you have to grow. Your company has to grow. Your company has to outperform your competitor because you are operationally better than your competitor. Hope all of you understand how to identify the gaps and then the meaning of operational excellence. Now you can read the statement and understand what is operational excellence. You can read yourself. and tell me whether you can understand the meaning of operational excellence. You are trying to be better than your competitors, but you should never lose your focus on quality. Never compromise, never achieve any result by compromising on the quality. That is not going to be good for a long-term growth, right? So Lean Six Sigma is an operational excellence philosophy that can boost your organization's profitability, market share, and the customer satisfaction. Please note the strategic focus is on quality. Clear, all of you? You understand operational excellence?
Yes, sir.
Please confirm. This is very, very important.
Here
Otherwise,
time
we
is
will
not
know-
there. Time.
Oh, yeah, timeline. Okay.
Timeline it is not there. So
Normally, yeah,
quality.
normally any
uh,
so see here, the strategic plan is normally made for 3 years or 5 years,
okay.
right? That is decided 3 to 5 years. And from
Yes.
there only we drill down to operation
Okay.
level. And then when it comes to the operational projects, every project will have a timeline.
Okay.
Now we are talking in a broader sense.
Yes.
This is what many companies have adopted and they achieved the number 1 position.
Yes.
You are seeing Reliance Jio. And Jio was not there some 10 years before, isn't it? You could see in 2016, who is the market leader in 2016?
Airtel.
Bharti Airtel. They were having 31% market share. Oh, sorry, not Bharti Airtel, Vodafone.
Vodafone.
39% market share. Then this next is Bharti Airtel. And the third one, the other companies. So 2018, Reliance Jio, they acquired 11% market share. Maybe they might have done some homework, but then 2018, they have become aggressive. That means the campaign has started. Campaign started means slowly customers will start coming from your competitors to you. Your new customers are going to come from the same planet only, isn't it? They're not going to come from some other planet. That means customers have to come from your competitors. You should also be good at retaining your existing customers. So the first year, they achieved 11% market share. In the second year, the market share has grown to 27%. And in the third year, the market share for Jio has become 33%. In 3 years' time, they have achieved number 1 position. They have become market leader. Am I correct?
Yes.
Now tell me, what was the strategy they used? You all know. We
Free
all now
internet.
use
Free
Jio, right?
internet, sir.
Free internet.
What is the
Free
reason?
internet, free
Find it.
internet they give.
Customer demand. They fulfill the customer
Luring
demand.
the customers.
They
You
fulfill
remember, they have given you everything
They-
free.
Identify the problem and then give it the solution for that, like internet.
See, first year, they have given everything free. Have you have forgotten that
Yes.
service?
Yes.
Yes.
They
Yes,
made
free,
technology
free.
available. Even they made technology available to everybody, sir. They
Can you see a strategic plan behind? 2 years, almost
the
2 years.
strategic goal was
They have
very
not
clear.
charged us-
Yeah, I think
they have not charged even not charged even a single rupee. Even they sold mobile phones for 500 rupees. They made technology available. They made the customers know used to all these technologies. Strategy means you must live it. They very well know they are investing money without getting any returns for 2 years. But definitely in the long run, they have become highly successful. They have become very profitable nowadays.
But Gopal sir, one story want to add here.
Please.
Yeah, like I hope everyone of us are remember like Reliance came in a big way in 2003, where they were giving that white phone free and they incur a huge loss. So this time they came with a very proper strategy. Almost 15 years they put a strategy and they came back. 40 to 15 years.
That's correct. So
Sir.
this is what we also spoke.
Sir,
Yes.
one good example in the history past, when the British conquered the India, they first came for the business. Then East India Company, the Britishers came and they handle the local kings, and they provided the forces, means armed forces, and they give the training, and gradually they capture all these things, and the things like, if you are not taking our services, you will be cut off from the your state. Like that they conquer the all services. If you know, if you go through past the history na, 1857 before, they conquer India
Exactly.
like that way. Given the
Exactly.
given the services, then conquer the kings, local kings, break and rule, divide and rule, and they conquer the not only India, all over the world. This is the means
True.
one of the greatest example in the history how British rule all
Exactly.
over the world.
So
Yeah,
you
I
want to
agree
become the
with
king? Yes, you must have the right strategies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Britishers did the all things. Even though 1857 war, they how they win the war. I'm not given that these things. They divide and rule policy, and they conquer the our own forces, battle them
True,
ourselves,
true, true.
and they rule the our things. The same strategy
Understood.
following by the, even though Americans also, now these companies also. First give
Exactly,
the
exactly. So
first give the service.
similar approach is
Yes,
needed.
yes, yeah.
Similar approach is needed for our company also. We
Yeah.
need to have the right strategies, the
Uh,
right tactics, and the right operations. Nothing but
yes.
our efforts and daily activities. And we should have a culture for continuous improvement.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what happen at any point of time, our competitor can become better than us. So we need to keep an eye, and then we should focus on continuous improvement so that we never give a chance,
Yeah.
for our
You
competitors to
one
outperform
more thing.
us.
One more thing I had to add. They defeated French people in they restricted French in Pondicherry, not all over India. Portugal in
Hmm.
Goa, and they rule the in India like that way. The same
Correct, correct.
strategy they
All
are
right.
in.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Prasant. So that means you all have clearly understood, right? Now what is a strategy, tactics, and operational goals and everything. All right. Now let us go to the downline. Let's talk in terms of operational activities. So at the downline, we produce product, we offer services, and we handle processes. And if there are any gaps, obviously that will lead to customer dissatisfaction. Now, in order to understand better, let us understand defects. What is our understanding about defects? Defects are nothing but any form of non-conformance. Any form of non-conformance to the requirements are known as defects. In order to define the defects, you must have a clarity on CTQs. What are CTQs? Critical to quality characteristics. Now tell me, the first item here in my slide, there is a garment, which is a shirt. Can you name few defects that can happen in a shirt?
Yeah, broken
Can you name
stitch,
few defects?
collar,
Yeah,
twisted,
stitching.
pocket up and down,
Sim-
sleeve lack,
Exactly.
Holes. Holes in the
Color fading.
Faded color.
Color fading. Very good. So improper stitching and misalignments in the stitching and broken buttons, misaligned buttons, improper collars, and the faded colors. These are all called defect opportunities.
So
These are all called defect opportunities.
one garment can have 10 defect opportunity or 6 defect opportunity, something like that.
Exactly. One garment or one item can have multiple defects. But if it happens to reject a product completely, we call it as defective item. Right? If an item has a non-conformance, each non-conformance is a defect. But if the item gets rejected, then we call the item as defective. Hope all of you understand the difference between defect and defective. Tell me a situation or tell me a reason why we end up rejecting a product.
In case of
Why we
garment,
sometimes reject a
in case of garment, sometimes the pattern itself is wrong, construction is wrong. When you wear the garment, it will very too fit to that particular size. So we need to reject that garment. Or sometimes the panel attachment is wrong, the shade is different. So in that case, also we reject the garment. So that is a defective
Yeah.
piece. We don't use.
The point is,
not meeting the application also we can say.
Yes, sir. Here in this
Yeah.
case, customer satisfaction is not didn't met, sir.
the point is, we are not able to correct the defects. So we end up rejecting it, isn't it? If we could do something and correct it, we actually rework.
Or cost of reworking is too high to make it correct, sir. So that in that case also reject it, sir.
True. That's what. Yeah, that is another scenario.
Gopal
so that
sir,
we know. We
Gopal,
know.
sorry to-
Yeah, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Yes, Asit. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to know defect. I understood. I'm not from this thing. I'm finding little difficult. I know taking time to understand. So, what is the definition for defective? You said.
That's what I'm trying to explain, right? If you can do something on the defect and correct it, then it's all done. Your product is acceptable. But if you can't do anything, you can't rework, you can't remove the defect, then your item becomes a defective item. Imagine your wife is making a dosa for you, ghee dosa. All right. So Asit ordered a ghee dosa and his wife is making it for him. Now imagine the amount of ghee, too much ghee is added. Now the dosa lost its taste. Now do you think your wife can do something and then set it right?
No, sir. That's gone.
Sir, can I add?
Impossible. Now your dosa is defective dosa, isn't it? It's unfit.
Yes.
And we can't do anything on it. So it is the presence of the defects because of which, the item becomes unacceptable. At the same time, we are not able to correct it. Sometimes, like other participant was saying, if the cost of correction is too high, then also we reject it. So ultimately making our product defective product. I think now it is clear, defect and defective.
Sir, can I come, sir?
I need an yes. Participants. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Marcus, sir,
Sir, can I add?
Marcus, sir, you can add your
Yeah.
you can add your point now.
Please note, I'll give you 2 points. One is my son. My son wrote an exam. He pass mark is 30. Now, first case he failed. Second case he passed with 31 mark. So 31 mark pass is a defect. Yes or no? Am I right? He passed, but still he has to improve. But he failed. 29 marks and failed is defective. I can't do anything. Only next year he has to take a chance. So defective means rejected. Defects means probably accepted. The rice that I made today in the morning till night time, it becomes a defect rice for me. Still I eat it. Right? But the next day it becomes defective. I throw it out. Understood? Clear? Defects.
Yes.
Defects
Very clear,
means all the specifications are not met. Defective means yes. Yes. Oh, let's understand DPMO. I think I'll finish it off. Okay. I hope you have understood.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So let us proceed. I think it's a simple concept. One is defect, the other one is defective. Since the item is rejected or the service has led to customer dissatisfaction, then it should be called as a defective service. All right. So the CTQs are applicable in all products, all services, and so defects can be defined in all products, in all services. If you have this fundamental idea, you can apply Lean Six Sigma and problem-solving strategy in any scenario. Otherwise, you will find it difficult to apply your learnings in your field. All right. So the DPMO exercise, probably we'll do it after the lunch because we have less time. Now think about any product and try to identify the CTQs. What are CTQs? The characteristics of your product, the characteristics of your service, but then the characteristics are measurable now. then only we call them as CTQ. If you can't measure, no, you can't take any action. So if you can make the characteristics measurable in your product, then you can call the characteristics as CTQ. Now look at my slide. What is the product you are seeing?
Laddu.
Laddu.
Laddu. And imagine you want to make laddu and sell it in your street itself. How many laddus you can sell in a day? Few hundred laddus?
Yes.
Because your idea is to make and then sell in the same place within your street. Maybe few hundred laddus you can make. Do you think that all people in your street will expect consistency in your laddu?
Yes.
They will expect every single laddu to have the same taste.
Same taste.
That means it is demanding a well-defined process. Yes or no?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Right, sir.
And the well-defined process should be capable of taking care of all the CTQs in your laddu. If the process can take care of all the CTQs in your laddu, then your business, will grow like anything. All your laddu will be sold in minutes. Because whatever the customer expects, your process exactly takes care. You can use equipment, you can use, people, you can have a manager, do everything. And now you are able to make laddu and then people are ready to buy your laddu. Now tell me, few CTQs in your laddu. What is that you would like to, measure and control in your laddu so that slowly, your business can grow?
Good raw
Come on.
materials.
Sweetness.
Raw material is not the CTQ. Denied. The raw material is not the CTQ.
Appetizing color.
Recipe.
Taste, I agree. Taste, I agree.
So
Now the
taste,
yeah,
taste, the
I'll
quantity, the sugar
I'll
level.
guide all of you. I'll guide all of you. Now taste has come because that is what customer broadly look at it. Now the taste is bigger. Why? Taste is bigger. Why? I want to measure the taste. So I will drill down the taste into measurable characteristics. Now one of you clearly told me, what is that? The color should be
Appetizing.
Yeah.
he
Aesthetic.
used the right word.
Feeling
Appetizer,
color.
something.
Yes, it is ready
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah, color, should motivate
be
you to
appealing.
eat.
Yeah.
Appealing, sir.
That means
Size of the
they
product
expect your
also.
laddu to be, they expect your laddu to be in yellow color. They don't want it in black color or some other color. They want it in yellow. This is your first CTQ. Agreed?
Shelf life.
The
Second
visual
CTQ.
aspect.
Shape of the laddu.
That means it should be spherical, round, exactly
Yes.
round. That's why people use some kind of some dye or something.
Even
Mold,
size
yes, they
matters.
mold.
Sugar should be
Size
apt level.
matters. Sugar, sweetness.
Yeah.
Sweetness, color, size, weight, shape. All of these things are CTQs.
Cost would be possible.
Cost is also one of the CTQ. Yes, I agree. These are all
And the
customer requirements.
and the
You
process should
understood
be
all the
consistent.
requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's not a CTQ. That is your headache. CTQ means customer finds it, important to them.
Sir, hygiene.
Consistency, profit, and all your headache. Customer doesn't bother.
Mainly, bundi should be properly cooked, not undercooked, not overcooked.
That is also your headache. Customer wants the laddu, not the bundi.
How about the
You make
location and
bundi.
timing, sir?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
timing also. Yes, they need the delivery on time. These are all customer requirement.
Sir,
Please
hygiene
note,
could be the CTQ.
All the CTQs are now listed down. We are very clear about the CTQ, right?
Yes.
That
Proper
means we are
packing.
all now fit enough to make laddus and sell laddus. We can start a business. We will definitely grow. Let's find some people. Let's source the ingredients, inputs. Let's think about developing some process. Let's all start making laddu. People will readily buy from us. At least 500 laddus, 800 laddus we can sell every day. We can make more than what we are earning in the form of salary now. All right.
Gopal sir, one thing, one of our person said like hygiene. So that shouldn't be part of CTQ, hygiene pack.
Yes. That is CTQ. See, whatever customers checks, that's a CTQ.
Sir, one
You
more
should
thing.
also check. You should also check. You should make your process take care of that.
Sir, proper packing. Packing
That's a
and
CTQ. True. CTQ. Now imagine we want to expand now, right? So far we have been selling laddu only in our street. Now I want to sell it throughout the city. Now the requirements have changed. Can you see that, all of you? Earlier, we just wanted to bring it to the street. That's all. Now we have to take it to each and every customer in the city. Now delivery is involved, logistics involved.
So
Branding,
based on the
sir?
product, we need to define what could be
Shelf
CTQ
life.
and agreed for that.
Now your customer segment has widened. Earlier, the people within your street were buying. Now the customer segment is bigger number. Now you made it available online also. Now your laddu has to travel throughout the city. The moment it is ordered, it should reach as laddu and not as bundi. The requirements, some more additional requirements has got added now. Now packaging also become, as CTQ nowadays. Now, this particular aspect. Earlier you were selling about 500, 800 laddus a day, but now you are selling about 50,000 laddus a day. All right. Now you want to sell it throughout the country. Now the requirement has become much more bigger. You
Gopal
now
sir, just want
understand
to add
why
one more thing in
we need
this.
to understand CTQ, why we need to have process, why we need to have people, why need to have equipments, why we need to have managers. Do you think when you are selling 50,000 laddus a day, do you think you will need some managers to take care of your process?
Yes. Team is required.
So
Same
Gopal
logic.
sir, it's Anand here. I would like to highlight one more point here. This is not only quality. Nowadays, when the volume increase, we need to track it correctly. So I think that is also part of the CTQ, or one thing to measure it correctly, that how many laddus has been delivered. If I'm delivering 15,000, is it
There are
reaching
two
to
things.
15,000 or not?
sir, one more
Yes.
example. When you are packing the laddus in big sampling or big giving, recently ITC was fined 1 lakh rupees because of one biscuit less in that thing in happen in Chennai. That the recent example.
True.
So even though in broad level, if you have to sell the laddus, you have to give the right numbers or kgs, because nowadays
That is part of
customer
CTQ.
Quantity.
That is part of CTQ. That is part of CTQ. See,
Yeah.
we will slowly make every aspect very, very clear. Please note, now we are talking in terms of quality. That fully depends on your process effectiveness. That fully depends on your process effectiveness. It is your process that takes care of each and every CTQ, so that your product comes out to be a quality product. Now, what is important next is, now the customer gets quality product. Now your business should be profitable. All right. Sometimes what happens, you offer
delivery
a high
time-
quality product, high quality service, but your business can still be under loss. Possible or not? Yes or no?
Yes. Possible.
Why that is happening? You produce high quality product, but then still you are incurring loss. What is the reason? Because your process is highly inefficient. Though it is effective, it is inefficient. Effective means there are no defects, but inefficient means there are wasteful activities happening in your process. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There are two things we are talking about process. One is effectiveness, the ability of your process to produce defect-free outputs. The output is a product or a service. If your process cannot produce defect-free products, then your process is ineffective. All right. But while producing the defect-free outputs, your process should also be efficient. Efficient means it should consume the resources only in the required quantity. Be it raw material, be it manpower, be it time, be it the effort, be it the usage of machineries, be it the usage of electricity, be it usage of the natural resources, all are resources. Even be it the square feet area you are occupying. If you occupy all these resources excessively, then that will be called as inefficiency. It is, if your process is not effective, customer will see quality problems. If your process is not efficient, your business will certainly be under loss. So both are important in any business. Effectiveness cannot be compromised because customer demands it. But efficiency must always be optimized so that you not only produce high quality product, but also remain profitable. You are creating a win-win scenario. Customer gets high quality product. At the same time, you get the desired profit. At the same time, your product is not hurting the interest of any of the stakeholder. It is not harming the society. It is not harming the environment, and you follow all the legal requirements. This is called a true win-win scenario. All of you understand?
Gopal,
yes,
can you just brief again about this means efficiency? Like you said, two factors as effective. Efficiency, just want to understand the definition.
Yeah, efficiency means you are consuming the resources excessively.
Okay.
If you are doing the work again and again multiple times, rework. These are all, demonstrating inefficiency. Rework is a form of inefficiency. Can I say?
or sir,
That
we
means you
either
are
can
not
we
able to do it right at the first time. You are
can we
doing the
put it
same
into
job.
input to output ratio?
Yeah, you take more time, or you consume more raw material, or you make the work, very difficult for the employees. So they struggle and then, they fail. These are all, forms of inefficiency. In general, we call it as waste. From the lean perspective, we call it as waste. Right? Any non-conformance, we call it as defects.
Can I come here, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, efficiency and effectiveness. You are asking a question. Understood? You are asking a question. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, yes.
And I am
Yes.
answering. I am answering answer for another question. Then it is ineffective. Okay. I am answering your
I mean,
question.
wrong answer.
I am answering your question, but I do not answer to your satisfaction. This is inefficiency. Understood? Effectiveness is getting what is required, and efficiency is getting the maximum out of available resources. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So we need both efficiency as well as effectiveness. Ineffectiveness is termed as defect. Inefficiency is termed as waste. Any project that is focusing on reducing the defects is known as a Six Sigma project. That means the primary focus of Six Sigma is defect reduction. If you do a project and if the primary focus is to improve the efficiency, that means the project is a lean project. All of you understand? Six Sigma focuses on defect reduction. That means it aims to improve the effectiveness. But lean focuses on waste reduction. That means it focuses on improving your efficiency. If I reduce my defects, my profit will go up. If I reduce my efficiency, then my operating cost will come down. That again will boost my profit. So improving the profitability and reducing the operating cost, these are known as bottom line growth. The bottom line growth truly depends on your operations. The bottom line depends on the operations at the downline. That's why it's called, the bottom line result. So for your bottom line results to be impressive, all your operations should be defect free and all your operations should be waste free. And that's where Lean Six Sigma comes into picture. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we will go for the lunch with this particular slide. So there are certain quality principles which we all must follow in any workplace, irrespective of the kind of product or kind of service. We should be customer focused. When I say customer focused, you should be very, very clear about the CTQs. Agreed? Because CTQs are important to your customer. When I say customer, I actually mean the end user. All of you, do you know the meaning of end user? The one who is paying for the product, paying
Yes,
for the
yes.
service. Now there are two other terminologies, internal customer and external customer. Who are internal customer? Sometimes what happens before arriving on the final product, you will have some intermediate stage, isn't it? The intermediate stage goes through several processes. That means one process becomes the customer for the previous process. Can you imagine, all of you? Can you visualize this? For example, everything I produce in the shop floor, production department, is next going to the assembly department. Now, who is the customer for production department?
Assembly floor.
Assembly department.
This is called internal customer.
Internal customer.
If the person receiving your output is not the final product, but an output. If the output is received by a customer within your organization, he is known as internal customer. Suppose if it is received outside, a person from the outside, he is known as external customer.
External customer.
Right? So,
Yes.
we need to understand the requirements of all these parties. All the internal customers, external customers, requirement are also equally important, so that you will be able to comfortably fulfill the end user's requirement. Understood? Even the employees are internal customers. Can I say all the employees are internal customers? Somehow
Yes,
they are
sir.
responsible for certain process. Isn't it? They do need certain input so that they can execute the process and then produce the relevant output for the next process. All of you are clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
So, you mean to say this is lunchtime? All of you are feeling hungry? There is no response?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Okay. No issue.
Yeah. So we'll just another 2 minutes. So we should be customer focused. We should know all the customers involved. And internal, existence of internal customer, we should recognize. Meet all the customers' requirements so that the end user's experience can be great. And moreover, sometimes they communicate their requirement, openly. They'll speak out. They'll communicate the requirement verbally. They are called spoken requirement. But certain requirement, they don't communicate. But still, they will expect it in the product. Such requirements are known as unspoken requirement. You must put honest efforts, sincere efforts to know all the spoken as well as the unspoken requirement. Then only you can think about best in class quality, right? And in fact, you can strive to exceed them so that it can lead to customer delight. Process approach and system approach. Process approach. Every process means a set of activity. And then a set of inputs goes into your process. And then they come out as output. You should always know the existence of process and the inputs that is going into the process and the output that is coming out of the process. And you should always understand that or recognize that variation will always exist. You can't say, I have all the imported machineries and people are trained and so there is zero variation. No, it is impossible. It is the rule of the nature. There will be some variation always that exists in your output. But if you could ensure the variations are minimal, you control the process in a way that the variations are minimal, then customer can't see any defect. But if you have poor control over the variation in the output, slowly the variation will become visible to the customer and it will become obvious and they will start calling your product as defective products. They'll start rejecting your products. Why variation happens at the output? It is because of the process conditions or it is because of the inputs that are going into the process. If the process conditions keeps on changing, or if the input keeps on changing, then output will keep on changing. So the variation at the input and the variation at the process parameters are causing the variation at the output. So the fundamental reason for defects happening is variation with respect to the process parameters, variation with respect to the process inputs. Hope it is understood by all of you. So reducing variation is the key to improvement. This is a scientific thinking. This is a scientific thinking. That is why we call Six Sigma as a systematic way of process improvement, systematic way of problem solving. And you should always be factual in your decision making. Don't just go with opinions blindly. Even though the opinion is coming from an expert, you should try to understand whether the opinion is a fact or not. So you should be data driven. You should always have the wealth of data behind your decision making. If you do not have the wealth of data, then it will be very difficult for you to analyze and understand things. That's why data collection is very, very important. And for example, people talk about Industry 4.0 and all. The basic requirement is wealth of data. Because the 4.0, can you imagine Industry 4.0 without data? Everything is data, isn't it? How the robots are working, how the IoT system is working. There are a lot of sensors collecting data every single minute, isn't it? So data collection is very, very important. So if you use data for your decision making, you will be always fact driven. Otherwise, you will be opinion driven. If you are opinion driven, and there is a good chance that your decisions can go wrong. And another important quality principle is you should also ensure your suppliers deliver optimal results. Your suppliers deliver raw material, isn't it? So their quality goes into your quality. So you have to equip your suppliers also. If needed, you train them. If needed, you improve their process. I have seen companies, even training their suppliers on Six Sigma and stuff like that. Simply because they understood this principle. Their quality affects your quality. So these are all some quality principles you all must respect. Hope you could understand all of this. Shall we stop here?
Sir, yes.
If there are any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are ready for the lunch.
Sir, one thing I want to ask you. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, before we had a discussion for the CTQ for the laddu preparation. So can I say like the delivery time can be a CTQ while doing the online business?
Yeah, if the delivery time affects the customer satisfaction, then that is also a CTQ.
Okay.
Understand? You are bringing delivery also in your store so that the customer can question you. Then what happens? Delivery time is also a CTQ. See, anything that the customer can question, that is a CTQ.
That's meeting the
If customer
deadlines.
can't question, but still you feel it as a requirement, then that is CTB, critical to business. You get my point?
Okay.
Anything
Customer
that has a
requirement one
metric,
side, business requirement one side, process requirement other side, employee requirement other side. You need to understand all these requirements. This is called win-win.
Yes, sir.
The
Thank
book
you.
called, the book called 7 Habits, written by Stephen Covey. He clearly mentioned one of the habit for remaining effective is creating win-win scenario. Every party's interest should be respected. Understood?
CTQ is a metric.
So we stop here for lunch, and so we can come back by 2:15.
So,
Right?
sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So we continue from where we stopped. We are talking about the process improvement, right? So we know process means set of activities, that will convert our input into output. If your activities can convert the input into acceptable output, your process is very effective. Imagine we undergo the training and all of you are able to clear the exam comfortably. That means our training process is effective. Suppose if you are not able to clear the exam, defects are happening, right? Defectives are also happening, right? And that means the process is not so effective. So the ability of a process to produce the output in line with the customer requirement is known as effectiveness. Any form of ineffectiveness will lead to defects. Similarly, efficiency. If you use the right amount of resources in producing your output, then you are efficient. Any form of excessive consumption of resource is termed as inefficiency. In other words, we call it as waste. So process improvement is the key to achieving your business results. At the same time, quality is also important. So if you take care of the quality, yes, there is a great chance that you can also take care of your business result. So we are going to limit our focus to the product quality, right? So process improvement is the key to quality. So imagine you have an orange tree. Now what kind of fruits your orange tree can give? It can certainly give orange fruits. Suppose you want apple. Do you think you can produce apple from the same tree?
No.
No,
sir.
No.
That means whenever we want to change the fruits, we know we should change the roots. But the biggest insanity in the business is people expect different results, but doing the same thing again and again, which is also not possible, like producing apples from the orange tree, which means whenever you feel like your results have to be improved, now what you need to do essentially is you must improve your process. Improving your process will certainly improve your results, and particularly with respect to the quality, product quality. If there is a problem with your product quality, if defects are frequently happening, it is simply because the a particular process is failing with respect to a particular CTQ. A particular process is failing with respect to a particular CTQ. And so we understood a particular CTQ is under trouble. This is what we consider as Y variable, the output variable, right? And we correct the CTQ by correcting the inputs that are going into the process. In Six Sigma, we call it as Y equal to F of X, where what is Y? The pain metric or the CTQ that is under trouble. We want to improve our performance with respect to a particular CTQ. But unfortunately, the CTQ depends on several other characteristics or several other variables, which are known as the input variable. So Y is the output, X are the input. Y is the output, X are the input. Mathematically, Y is known as dependent variable, X are known as independent variable. Why do we call Y as dependent variable? Because it depends on several X factors. Imagine your product is a coffee. So it's a chain of coffee outlet, 100 plus coffee outlets you run, but frequently, you are getting, complaints from a particular outlet. And if you actually go through the complaint, you understand they are all talking about the taste of the coffee. So taste of the coffee, is it an output variable or input variable?
Input variable.
Output.
Taste is output.
Output.
Taste is output.
Taste
It is
is the
output.
output of a process. You make the coffee and so the coffee gets the taste. So it's an output variable. And now so many customers are complaining about the taste. You are receiving the complaints at the head office. And now you want to do something on it so that the particular outlet get rid of the problem. Now the output is understood, but you have to deep dive always before taking action. When they say taste, what is the exact problem? Because the taste is very broader terminology, isn't it? If you want to measure the taste, you must understand the drivers of satisfaction. What actually constitutes taste? The sweetness in the coffee is definitely a driver of the taste. Am I right? One of the driver.
Yes, sir.
So sweetness is one thing, right? So sweetness is one thing. Let me write something here. So your Y is now drilled down into Y1. So what is Y1? The sweetness of the coffee. Customer expect your coffee to have the appropriate strongness also. The strongness is now denoted as Y2. And customer also expect your coffee to be appropriately hotter. Hotness. Please note sweetness, strongness, and then hotness. Maybe some people might even talk about the aroma, the flavor, all of this, right? That is also a Y. So these four are the CTQs. Do you understand? These four are the CTQ. Now, what is that the complaint is about? Is that the complaint is about the sweetness, or is it about strongness, or is it about the hotness, or is it about the aroma? Now, accordingly, you can take action. And ultimately, the appropriate combination of Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 constitutes the taste of the coffee. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You bring the strongness to the particular level. You bring the sweetness to the particular level. You bring the hotness to the particular level. You bring the aroma to the particular level. Now the combination is known as taste. Do you understand how we are drilling down to understand the CTQ? Now I want all of you to talk about, the X factors in this process of making coffee. What are the X factors in the process of making coffee?
Decoction, the caffeine,
texture.
decoction.
Sugar, milk,
water,
milk,
Very good.
coffee
So
beans.
sugar is X1, coffee powder is X2,
water,
all right?
water,
And then the temperature is X3,
milk,
and
sir.
milk is X4,
Milk or water.
and water X5. These are all ingredients.
Okay.
Now the appropriate combination of the inputs decides your Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. Am I right? I mean, decides your Y. Now when I actually look into the data, I understand most of the customer complaints are about Y2. What is Y2?
Sir, coffee beans.
Strong.
Y2 is strongness.
Strongness.
The strongness majorly depends on the amount of coffee powder. Strongness majorly depends on the amount of coffee powder, which is your X2. All of you understand? So the coffee powder, if it is not optimized, your product will have problems related to the strongness. I put more coffee powder than what is required, then my coffee will become too much stronger. If I put less of it, my coffee will become lighter. That means this particular factor, the coffee powder, is critical to strongness. That means it is a major influencer. So any problem related to the strongness of the coffee, the culprit is coffee powder. That is the root cause. All of you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Suppose if there is a problem with this, if there is a problem with the sweetness of the coffee, which is Y1. Now, which is the culprit now? Amount of sugar. The amount of sugar is responsible for the sweetness in your coffee. Got it? The amount of temperature, or the temperature at which the coffee is served, that is responsible for the hotness felt by the customer.
Yes.
Now the combination of Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 decides my Y. So this is called the Six Sigma way of problem solving. You have to clearly understand which of your CTQ is under trouble now. Don't simply say why. Don't simply say it is taste. What is the problem? The problem is coffee is not stronger enough, or the coffee is not sweeter enough. Of course, ultimately the combination of Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 makes your coffee tastier for the customer.
Sir, I have one query.
Yeah, please.
As you said that for sweetness, you direct link with the sugar. If the amount of the water is not correct, then also, so we cannot direct link with the sugar, I think.
Yeah, the major influencer is sugar. And as you said, there can be other influencing factors. Critical factors need not be just one. Sometimes it can be more than one.
Yes.
Critical factor, sometimes it can be more than one. In such case, you need to understand which is the major influencer. That means what is the contribution of that particular factor and what is the contribution of the other factor. This is called root cause analysis. What we are talking right now is known as root cause analysis. Root cause analysis doesn't simply mean creating a fishbone diagram. No, there is much more beyond creating a fishbone diagram. If I write the whatever I see on my screen, y1, y2, y3, y4, x1, x2, x3, x4, if I write it in the form of a fishbone diagram, then then that's a cause and effect diagram or a fishbone diagram. But I should try to understand the real factor, the real X factors that is currently disturbing one of the CTQ. If I know that coffee powder is what is not appropriately added. Now coffee powder is the root cause. We call it critical factor. If everybody agrees, sir, currently the problem all the problems are because of the strongness and the culprit is coffee powder. If everybody agrees, my job ends. I will immediately optimize the amount of coffee powder. I will tell my chef, hey, you have to use only this particular scoop for putting the coffee powder. You just don't add it, according to your wish. You should always add as per the specification, which again will be controlled by a particular scoop. Now the problem is arrested. All right. So for every problem, the respective CTQ is understood and the respective root cause or the critical factor is identified. If everyone around you agrees with your finding, then you can proceed with the solution. If you think they are not in a position to agree, then you have to validate the root cause. If people are not agreeing, then you have to validate. Validation is nothing but experimental demonstration. What is validation? Experimental demonstration. If people are not willing to accept coffee powder is critical to strongness, will you be able to demonstrate experimentally? You give them a coffee without putting any coffee powder. Now they will realize, oh, coffee powder is responsible for the strongness. Then you add a particular smaller amount of coffee powder. Then you increase the amount of coffee powder. They will be able to see increase in the strongness as you keep on increasing the coffee powder. This experimental procedure is known as root cause validation. All of you understand what is root cause validation? Yes or no? Yes. I purposely make changes in the X and help my audience understand the changes that are, the relevant changes that are happening in the Y variable. Now people are convinced. Now I need to take action. What action? I should optimize the coffee powder. I need to know whether in that particular outlet, the amount of coffee powder has to be increased or decreased. For that, I need to know the relationship between X and Y. What is the relationship between coffee powder and strongness? Can you tell me? Relationship between coffee powder and strongness. Is it directly proportional or inversely proportional?
Directly proportional.
Directly proportional, sir.
Directly proportional means increasing the coffee powder will increase the strongness.
Yes.
This is called a positive relationship. Sometimes when I increase my X, Y will decrease. That's called a negative relationship. This knowledge is important to think about the solution. This knowledge is important to think about the solution. For example, I want to increase the strongness. What should I do?
Increase the coffee powder.
Increase the coffee powder, that's all.
Yeah.
How are you able to suggest a solution? You know the relationship. What kind of relationship coffee powder possesses with respect to the strongness? The relationship can be positive, relationship can be negative. Let me tell you another scenario. The amount of calories you consume and the weight gain you experience. Which is Y variable here? Your weight gain is X or Y? Weight gain is Y.
Weight gain is Y.
It is Y.
Now the X factor is the calorie consumption. If I consume more calories, what will happen to my weight?
Increase.
Increase, sir.
Increase. So if you want to optimize your weight, you can work with the calories. You know whether to increase the calories or decrease the calories simply because you know the relationship between the two. And there are other factors which can also significantly contribute to your weight. Maybe your exercise. If you increase your exercise, what will happen to your weight?
Reduce.
Weight will decrease, sir.
Now it is negative relationship. Do you understand? So after knowing that the factor is the root cause, check, see whether people are ready to accept. If people are ready to accept, no problem. If people are not ready to accept, you need to experimentally demonstrate so that everybody will now come in line. They will start agreeing with your finding. This is called root cause validation. After that, you should understand the relationship between your root cause and the Y variable. There are two ways you will slowly understand. One is you need to understand whether the relationship is positive or negative. The next level is you need to understand whether the relationship is linear or non-linear. Positive or negative. Another one is linear or non-linear. If you have this answer for all of this, you can better think about the solution. One more information you all have to know is how many root causes are now affecting my Y? Is it just one root cause that is currently playing, or are there multiple root causes? Like our participant was saying, sir, are they adding the water properly? If they keep the water content stable, then the culprit is only coffee powder. If the water content and milk are stable, then the culprit is only the coffee powder.
Coffee powder.
Suppose if they are not controlling the coffee water content, not controlling the milk content, not controlling the coffee powder, now there are 3 root causes that are playing. Can you understand, all of you?
Right, sir.
Yes.
Right.
That means they are not at all adhering to the procedure. The fellow, whatever milk he wants, he is adding. Whatever water he wants, he is adding. Whatever coffee powder he wants, he is adding. And so a lot of complaints are coming. Now, how many root causes are now currently playing? 3 root causes. Out of the 3, which is the major contributor? Which is contributing next? Which is contributing to the least? This is called factor sufficiency. If there are multiple factors that are playing, that are pulling down your, results, multiple actions are required. If you don't understand, take only, action on one of the root cause. Your problem might continue even after, implementing the solution. Most of the time, we wonder, see, we took some action, but still the problem keeps on continuing. It is simply because you have not understood some of the root causes. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So root cause analysis means root cause identification, root cause validation, and studying the relationship, and finally studying the sufficiency. You need statistical tools to do all of this. Tools like correlation, regression analysis, tools like hypothesis testing need to be used whenever you are in a scenario where you don't have any clarity about the root cause, where you don't have any clarity about the relationship, where you don't have any clarity about the sufficiency. So this is called the Six Sigma way of problem solving. And now see here in my slide, there are different scenarios I have brought in. The problem, if you understand a problem with respect to a particular Y, and you need to understand whether the root causes are known or not. For the problem, if the solution is known, root cause is also known. It's not a big challenge at all. You do it. You don't require any kind of approach or methodology. You know the solution, you know the cause. So please implement. Suppose you have a problem, but the root cause is known, but solutions are unknown. And this is why companies have, the approaches like Kaizen, quality circle. It's a small. All these are considered, small or moderate problem, which definitely you can solve. But sometimes what happens is there could be a problem, and with unknown root causes. Problem with unknown root causes. Imagine you produce, concrete block, and your concrete block are not able to withstand the load, for the application. And now why it is failing before the, applied load? And now we are not really, sure about the root cause. Now we need to actually study the ingredients that are going into the concrete block, and we need to do some experiment, and so that we can arrive on the optimum combination of the ingredients and the process condition. So whenever we come across a problem with where solutions are unknown, root causes are unknown, that's the time we need root cause analysis, and Six Sigma can help you to a great extent. So, and such situations are the ideal candidate for Six Sigma expertise. All of you understand the three scenarios? Solutions known, causes known. Solutions unknown, but causes known. But Six Sigma means we work on a problem where solution is unknown, cause is also unknown. And the problem is recurring in nature. And so definitely when you really want to achieve operational excellence, you have to solve all these kind of problems. Some of them are simple in nature, some of them are complex in nature, and that's why organization need these kind of expertise. And particularly when it comes to Lean Six Sigma expertise, people have to be trained. You need Six Sigma belts to work on. Now, one of you tell me, what's the difference between Six Sigma and project management? Is there a difference between Six Sigma and project management?
Maybe project management is just managing in timelines, and Six Sigma is managing effectively.
Okay. So in project management, the job is to implement a solution. Am I right?
Right. In
project management, the job is to implement a solution. But in the Six Sigma, your job is to develop a solution. Do you understand?
Yes.
The project manager's job is to implement a solution. But the job of a Six Sigma belt is to develop a solution, because the root cause is unknown. He has to identify the root cause. He has to understand the relationship of the root cause. He should know about the sufficiency of the root cause. Such a knowledge is currently not available in the organization. So a problem is happening repeatedly. So the role of a Six Sigma expert goes, way beyond the project manager. It's not just about implementing the solution. You have to implement the solution. In the process, you're also responsible for developing the solution. The responsibilities are much more, challenges are much more. So the job of a project manager is, the challenge is limited to time and budget. He has to complete the project within time, and he has to complete the project within the budget. But the job of a Six Sigma expert, in addition to managing the time and budget, he should also develop the solution. Now, all of you, do you understand the difference? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you just repeat once, sir, please? I just lost my signal. I'm sorry. The project management.
The Six Sigma expert is also responsible for developing the solution, not just implementing the solution, right? Because a solution really doesn't exist. All right. So that's the difference. But however, the project manager means ready-made solution is available. You just have to implement. That's all. You know all the constraints. You need to understand the constraints and resource, and everything has to be organized. And so, the project will go as per the particular plan, and then, it will be completed on time and by consuming the allotted resources. That's all. But in a Six Sigma, the solution should also be developed by you. Now look at my slide. I have written two equations. One is x plus y equal to z. The other one is y equal to z minus x. What is the difference? Is there mathematically any difference? Mathematically same. X plus y equal to z means y equal to z minus x. But if I say x is the cost, I mean the manufacturing cost, your operating cost, and all these costs are x. Y is your profit you want to generate. If I add the cost and profit, I get the price. But the challenge is, you can't arrive on the price simply by adding the profit to your cost. Nowadays, the market challenge is, you must calculate your profit, but by subtracting your cost from the price. Hope you understand, what I'm speaking. The cost is decided by the price is decided by the market, not by you. Because already there are competitors. They are offering a similar service at a particular price. So you are also forced to offer the product at the same price only. So if you really wanted to maximize on your profit, you have only control over the X. So what is your X?
Cost.
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 Cost of production.
Cost can either be your cost means operating cost, which again means your overhead plus your manufacturing cost or cost of offering the service. Either you have to reduce your overhead or you have to reduce your manufacturing cost or operating cost, right? So reduce your cost. That's the only way you can maximize your profit. If defects are happening, if wastages are happening, all of them will lead to cost of poor quality. So cost of poor quality means nobody finds value in it, but still your organization is spending on it. So focus on reducing the cost of poor quality. You know what will happen to your profit? Your profit will get maximized. That's the idea. So in any business, customer satisfaction and business growth goes hand in hand. So in order to ensure business growth, you must have faultless quality, on-time delivery, quick service, and lowest price. And in return, you should make profit. And how can you do this? You really need competitiveness. Competitiveness means you must have consistent quality in your final products. At the same time, for profitability, you must be able to maintain lower manufacturing cost and lower manufacturing time, and for which having a capable process and capable people are very, very important. And over and above, the raw material quality should also be consistent. If you can achieve all of this, yes, definitely customer will prefer your products and services over your competitors, right? But it's not that easy to achieve consistency in your final products, and it is equally not not that easy to maintain consistency in your raw material quality also. So you need to work at the output side as well as at the input side so that you can achieve the consistency in terms of quality. So what we need to do, if you really wanted to reduce the cost, you need to focus on defect reduction. You need to focus on waste reduction. So the defect reduction means you can apply the Six Sigma principles, which means your process capability goes high. Your process effectiveness is, getting improved. So any project or any effort that is, improving your process effectiveness is nothing but a Six Sigma project, right? So if the primary focus is defect reduction, then that's a Six Sigma project. Similarly, if the primary focus is waste reduction, then such projects can be called as lean project.
Lean.
All of you understand? Yeah.
Yes,
But sometimes what happens, we may want to reduce both parallelly, and such projects are known as lean Six Sigma projects. There will be some quick wins. At the same time, there will be certain results at the end of the project. So both short term as well as the long term, you get benefit. Hope all of you understand the previous slide. Now we're moving on. So what is the focus of Six Sigma chain of causation? So our survival is dependent on growing the business, but our business growth is largely determined by customer satisfaction. But customer satisfaction is governed by quality, price, and delivery. But quality, price, and delivery are controlled by process capability, and process capability is greatly limited by variation. If there is if you lose control on the output, then the variation will increase. As the variation increases, customer will start seeing defects. And why there is a variation in the output? Because there is a variation in the input. So you need to understand the relationship and then take the right action. So process variation leads to an increase in defects, increase in cost, as well as increase in cycle time. So to eliminate the variation, we must apply the right knowledge. In order to apply the right knowledge, we must first acquire it. To acquire the new knowledge means, we must have the will to learn and then, eliminate the problem. Hope all of you understand how, Six Sigma is connected to defects and the variation. So which is the root of the problem? Variation, right? If you fail to control the variation, obviously there will be defects. So little history. We all know Six Sigma evolved from a company known as Motorola, right? Motorola. So why Motorola embarked on Six Sigma? to overcome the competition, particularly from the Japanese companies, right? So this particular gentleman, Michael Harry and Bill Smith, you can see them here, right? So this is Bill Smith and this is Michael Harry. And we call him as father of Six Sigma, Bill Smith. And this is Bob Galvin, CEO. The CEO, he wanted to grow the company tenfold in a span of 5 years. And these two took the responsibility, and then, they come out with the idea of Six Sigma. And particularly this Bill Smith, he did a research and he understood that the amount of rework and repair a product undergoes, has a relationship with its field life. If there is too much of rework and too much of repair that is happening in a product before launching it in a market, then obviously it will have a poor field life. So if you are talking in terms of field life, warranty and kind of stuff, then it's very, very important that you produce products right at the first time. So Six Sigma means doing things right at the first time. Even rework and the repair must be avoided. So subsequently, Michael Harry developed the Six Sigma as a structured approach. All the belt levels were created by Dr. Michael Harry later on. So these are certain numbers about Motorola. You can see how big the company was, and even today. And their vision is to become world leaders in manufacturing of communication products such as pagers, mobile phones, etc. And this is about ABB, Asia Brown Boveri. And you see, they were producing the heavy electric equipments and these kind of robots. And their problem is defect rate 60% higher than the competitor, or their profit rate is 10% lower than their competitors. So these are the reasons why ABB adopted Six Sigma. And General Electric adopted Six Sigma because one of the scanner they were manufacturing, was consuming too much time to complete a scanning process, while the competitor scanners were able to do the same task in lesser time. So the time consumed by the scanning equipment was higher. And another thing is there is a bulb failure, too many bulb failures in a year, leading to higher cost of poor quality. So all these companies embraced the Six Sigma, and all of them have noticed a significant improvement in terms of savings in cost of poor quality. You see here, the numbers are very impressive even today. Motorola, the saving is running in the order of $2.2 billion every year in manufacturing, and as well as in non-manufacturing. That means Six Sigma can be applied in your manufacturing processes as well as in non-manufacturing processes. Similarly, ABB, they achieved $898 billion. And General Electric, they got $12 billion in 5 years. So these are some impressive results. And today, afterwards, there are many companies, even banks, right? And automotive industries, all of them started adopting Lean Six Sigma simply because they knew that it can drastically bring down your cost of poor quality, and hence your profitability can go up. So what is Six Sigma? It is an operational excellence model. It's an aggressive campaign. Means everyone's participation is important. Every department should align, should start working on a common goal of making your organization goal achievable. So boost profitability, increase the market share, and improve the customer satisfaction. And quality is the strategic business focus. And it's not that easy, for to achieve. So we need to have a good infrastructure in the form of people, so that we can work on all the projects and deliver results from all the projects. That means we are fixing all the quality problems, which again means our products are completely defect free. That means we have the best in class product with us. That means our business is ready to scale up. You can now scale up, right? So now there are different belt levels: white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt, champion, and sponsor. White belt means an awareness level of knowledge, just an awareness level of knowledge. Like, what is Six Sigma or what is Lean and how it will be helpful and all of this stuff. But then it's not enough to work on a project. So the next level is intermediate level of proficiency in Six Sigma principles, methodology, tools, and techniques, which we call it as yellow belt. So yellow belts always has to work under the green or black belts. They can't work independently. They need to work as per the advice of the green or black belts. The immediate next level is green and black belts, who are nothing but the project leaders. So the green belt can solve simple or moderately complex problem. However, a black belt can solve a problem with higher level of complexity. Moreover, a green belt is a part-time Six Sigma expert, but a black belt is a full-time Six Sigma expert. Meaning, a green belt role, 80% of the job is current designation. But 20% of the time, he will act as Six Sigma expert. He will act as improvement agent, process improvement agent. But a black belt, he's, 100% of the time, he will spend on process improvement, right? So a green belt is expected to complete 2 projects in a year. A black belt is expected to complete 6 projects in a year. So this is the main difference between green and black belt. However, similarly, the depth of understanding also will vary in terms of the knowledge and skill. And master black belts are like the internal consultants who will help the company develop KPIs, develop the belts needed to achieve the KPIs, and he can train people, coach people, and mentor them, and so that all the projects can be driven to success. So he is the MBB is a part of the quality council or the operational excellence or the business excellence team, and who will be instrumental in these kind of activities, KPI development, and producing the belts that are needed for the project, and also ensuring that projects deliver results. The champion and sponsor are like the top management. They are like parents to children. Same manner. For every project to succeed, the support of the parents, the support of the management is very, very important. And sponsor is like a father who gives the approval to utilize the resources. And champion is like a mother who will liaison between the sponsor and the project team. And whenever needed, support is needed, the champion is the immediate point of contact for the project leader to reach. So that's this kind of infrastructure is really, really important for the success of Six Sigma project, because the problem in hand is really complex in nature. Hope all of you understand. And this content is available in your material also. You can certainly go through and you can read and understand the responsibilities of the yellow belt, the responsibilities of the black belts, green, master black belt, champion, and sponsor, right? So for green and black, I will just read it for you. Green belts and black belts lead projects. They help the champion to select the team member. They plan the team meetings, lead the meetings, handle meeting logistics, and make recommendations for changes in the process depending on the problem they work. So, what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is a management philosophy to meet your business objective by reducing variation. It is a disciplined data-driven methodology for decision-making and process improvement. Look at my slide. There are 2 graphs I am showing. In Six Sigma, we express the process in the form of a bell-shaped curve. There is a reason and logic behind. Naturally, any process will behave like a bell curve only, naturally, right? So there are 2 processes. By nature, the first process is behaving like this. The second process is behaving like this with respect to a particular characteristics. Now tell me, which process you find it wider and which process you find it narrower? Tell me. This
2
one
sigma is
or
wider.
2 sigma, yeah, it is named as 2 sigma. Let it be process A and let it be process B. Now A is wider. That means A has the tendency to produce more variation in your output. Can you understand? A has the tendency to produce more variation in the output, but process B has lesser tendency. It looks very narrower. That means you can expect more consistency with your process B and not with your process A comparatively. So that means this process is considered to be more capable than this process. So imagine your process as a car. Your process is the car. And see, you want to drive the car in a road. Now tell me, do you want your car to be smaller than the road, or do you want your car to be bigger than the road?
Smaller.
Smaller than the road.
Your car must be smaller. Then only you can drive smoothly and then, reach your destination. Suppose imagine if your car cannot enter the road, but you still drive it. You know what will happen? Your car will get damaged, isn't it?
Damage.
This is called a failure. Similarly, if you design a process, you should know whether you are making a car bigger than the road or you are making your car smaller than the road. Any process you design, you should know the spread of the process. The spread of the process is similar to the width of the car. How do I know whether my process is has a more spread or a less spread? I must collect data from the process and visualize the data using a tool known as histogram. All of you, do you know histogram? It's similar to the bar chart. You collect data, plot a histogram using the data. The histogram will tell you whether your process is wider or narrower. If it is narrower, you can comfortably fit it inside the specification. If the process is very wider, you will definitely find it challenging. And when you run such a process, defects will be very obvious. All of you, do you understand why defects are happening? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we will again probably in the
Gopal
upcoming
sir,
sessions we will be in the
Gopal sir,
upcoming
sorry.
session we will talk a little deeper about the variation. Yes, Asit, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to understand, like you are showing two different examples, right? So 2 Sigma process, 6 Sigma process. Like we have implemented more tools to derive the output of the project because of the variation. Just want to understand that bit, because here you mentioned 2 Sigma process. Yeah, no, on the right hand side you mentioned 6 Sigma process.
Yeah. See, I only have written 2 Sigma and 6 Sigma. You will a little later you will understand why do I call it 2 Sigma and when should I call it 6 Sigma, little later. Right now it is process A, this is process B.
Okay.
Now which has the more tendency to succeed, A or B?
It's B is more than success.
Yeah, because it is more consistent in producing your output. The consistency is better with B in comparison to A. If I simply set my process at the center of the specification, yes, this process being narrower, see here the complete process is set inside the spec. That means all the outputs that are going to come out of the process will be readily accepted by my customer. That is the idea. So see, if you understand certain logic, you will be able to predict well. Even before producing your products, even before offering the service to your customer, you can judge the kind of customer satisfaction your process can give. How much rejection will happen, how much will be accepted, and you will
Sir,
gain
can I
clarity.
Can I come? Previous slide.
Yes, sir, please.
Previous slide.
Yes, sir, please proceed.
Move back. The same slide. Yeah. The gentleman, you are asking a very, very good question, right? I will tell you why it is a good question. Because there is a complication involved. I would like to make it simple. And you know what is deviation? Yes or no? Deviation from the target. We should not have deviation from the target. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you are asking a question, I should give the answer straight to the question, not away from that. Simple in scientific social science term. And if you are asking a 50 mm bangle, I should give you a 50 mm bangle, not a 30 mm bangle or 100 mm bangle. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is called a target. The other term is called deviation. Deviation should be low or high?
Low.
Deviation should be low. Very good. Now, the 6 Sigma process has got 6 times the deviation well within your limits. Right? Very good. That means reduced variations. You can see that arrow, no? The green arrowhead. Reduced variations. Right? So, deviations is very less in this case. Deviation is very high in this case. That's all it matters. We will see more on it later. Thank you very much. And it is called sigma level, right? Six Sigma and Six Sigma level are different. I will teach you later. Thank you.
Yeah, I will certainly deep dive. So 6 Sigma is a metric, which means that can tell you how much units are going to be acceptable if you run the process, right? If you run this process continuously, what proportion of the products will be within the spec and what proportion of the products will be out of the spec. Out of the spec means rejections. Similarly, the same thinking is applicable to service also, but we talk in terms of the CTQ. For each and every CTQ, we measure our capability, right? Six Sigma is a metric. It's a methodology for problem solving, and it is a way of management. There are many companies like Amazon, Caterpillar, like many companies, they use Six Sigma as a way of management. That means they will have an in-house Six Sigma program, and people will be promoted and offered the salary hike, offered the incentives, offered the promotion only based on the kind of projects and the results they produce and the kind of belt level they have. This is called, Six Sigma way of management. And Six Sigma is a philosophy. All the philosophies, whatever we spoke right from the morning till now, yes, we all can apply in our daily life also. So it's a metric because it tells you, our capability in terms of a number. Like, if the failure rate is lesser than 3.4 DPMO, that means, our capability is Six Sigma. And it gives you a methodology. There are two methodologies. One is for improvement, the other one is for development. Improvement means you improve an existing process. Development means you come out with a completely a new process or a new design or a new product or a new machine or entering into a new product. Anything that is completely new to the environment, that can be done using a methodology known as DMA-DV. So DMAC means define, measure, analyze, improve, control. DMA-DV means define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. The first one is for improvement. The second one is for development. And the second method, when used for a new product development, is sometimes called as design for Six Sigma. And it is a way of management and it is a philosophy. So taking a deeper look, Six Sigma methodology, define means thoroughly understanding the problem. Any problem you want to solve, the first and foremost requirement is you must understand the problem. A problem well defined is half done. Now please tell me, all of you, what do you mean by problem understanding? Come on here, all of you. Problem understanding means what?
Problem understanding means like what is affecting your output.
Analyzing, sir.
Identify the problem.
Problem description.
Define the problem.
See, most of the time, we struggle to solve a problem because we don't understand the problem. That's the reason why, we most of the time we are not able to solve. So enough care.
Finding the root cause.
Please, all of you, in define phase, all your effort is limited to understanding the problem.
Okay.
In measure phase, is dedicated to measuring the intensity of the problem. In analyze phase, only we will think about the causes and root causes. Problem is different, cause is different. You think about the problem in the define phase. Think about the intensity of the problem in the measure phase. Then think about the root causes in the analyze phase. Now you think about the solution. This is the sequence you should always follow while solving problem. If you straight away jump to the solution or jump to the analysis, it may not help, particularly when the problem is complex in nature. Now, once the solution is derived, implemented, think about the control. Control means taking measures to ensure the same problem doesn't occur again. This is called sustaining the solution. So define means you must have a thorough understanding on the problem. The CTQ which is under trouble is now understood by you. Can you see that, all of you? The CTQ that is under trouble is correctly understood by you. This is called define phase. All of you are with me on this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't know which is the CTQ currently under trouble, you still, try to solve it. And that means, there is no there is no guarantee that you are working in the right direction. So the CTQ must be understood. See, when you go to a hospital for any kind of health issue, after having enough discussion with you, several rounds of consultation, the doctor will come out with a particular number. Have you seen that? He'll show you a number. See here, the normal range is, this is the normal range. But currently your body parameter is out of the range. So now what needs to be done can be thought about next. So problem understanding means we figure out the exact CTQ which is currently under trouble. Then measure phase. Measure phase means we should be able to measure the intensity of the problem without any error. We call it baseline. What is the ground reality? You are saying that you have a health problem. Is it really very critical or less critical? That's very important, right? So always doctors, even though you communicate the problem, they suggest a diagnosis, right? They suggest a diagnosis, they suggest data collection, and then they'll get the problem verified. You should also do the same thing. You should also get the problem verified by collecting data. Now, what is important is your data should be error-free. Otherwise, you will misunderstand the problem. The intensity, you may not be able to understand correctly. So the goal in the measure phase is baseline. Then we move on to analyze. Here, we understand or we identify the critical factors, the root causes. We study their relationship. We study their sufficiency. Once you have all the information in your hand, you are now ready to think about the solution. So solution lies with your X, not with your Y. Please understand, in define phase, you are working on Y. In measure phase, you measured the Y. In the analyze phase, you listed all the X, you identified the critical X, then you studied the critical X for the relationship and the sufficiency. Now in the improve phase, whatever factors which are critical, you will try to optimize. You will try to optimize. Optimize in the sense, you will assign a particular value to the X. All the critical factors, you will assign a value. The combination will bring your Y to the acceptable level. So optimizing the X is known as the solution. In the control phase, what we do is we continuously monitor and control the critical factor in the desired level. Because we know if we can control the X, Y will be automatically under control. So this is called DMAC way of problem solving, DMAC methodology. So how many stages or how many phases you see here while problem solving?
5.
5.
5 pages.
With respect to Y and X, in the first phase, where is your focus? Y or X?
Y.
Y.
Why?
Now what is our requirement? We should understand the CTQ under trouble. All right? Am I right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
We should correctly understand whether we have a problem with our BP or we have a problem with our sugar level, or is that the cholesterol is high. We should know our CTQ. Which is the particular characteristics that is giving the dissatisfaction to the customer. That has to be very, very clear. That's the define phase. Then measure phase. Now you should measure Y or X.
We have to
Measure Y.
Y
We
only.
should measure Y.
Yeah, why?
Because our goal
Understand the
is,
intensity of the problem.
because our goal is we want to understand the intensity of the problem. Right? So there is, let us say there is some kind of stone or a swelling. Now we want to understand the size of the stone. Whether the size is so big or so small. So that piece of information is very, very important. And now the accuracy of data collection is very, very important. You must rely on accurate diagnosis, not on inaccurate diagnosis. Otherwise, what happens? And it might lead to wrong understanding of the problem. That shouldn't be the case. So measure phase helps you with the data and evidence of data so that you understand the intensity of the problem. In the analyze phase, you will change your focus from Y to X. Will change your focus from, because you understood the y. You also measured the y correctly. Now you can talk about the x. How many x? There are hundreds of x. Okay, no problem. Now, which are all the x that are currently playing? Is that your chef playing with the milk? Is that your chef also playing with sugar? Is that your chef also playing with coffee powder? Or is he really following the formula properly for all the factors except a few of the factors? Whatever factors that are mishandled, they are called critical factors. Which is the factor currently playing? They are called critical factor. They must be identified. And their relationship with your y has to be understood. The sufficiency has to be understood. And here comes the statistics, correlation analysis, regression analysis, hypothesis testing, all of that. And now the root causes are clear. Now you can do a brainstorming and you all can talk about the solution. If you have gone through the define, measure, and analyze properly, trust me, you are the best person in the world to think about the solution. You are the best person in the world to think about the solution if you go through these stages. And finally, control means the actions that are required to keep the X under control. If you keep the X under control, what will happen? Y will remain under control. The problem cannot occur again. And now in our course, we have divided each stage or each phase into 3 simple steps. Define phase into 3 steps, measure phase into 3 steps, analyze into 3 steps, improve and control, each into 3 simple steps. Totally how many steps? 15 simple steps, using which you can solve any kind of problem. Trust me, it will solve all problems, provided you understand the objective of each and every step, the deliverable that is expected from every step, the kind of tools and techniques that you can use for each of the step. If you master yourself, with a step-by-step approach, you can solve any kind of complex problem. And for that purpose, you are going to learn a set of tools and techniques. And certain mapping is done here. You can see define phase tools like VOB, VOC. Some of them we spoke already. CTQ we already spoke. What VOC means voice of customer. VOB means voice of business. Anyway, we will be going through the tools one by one. I'm not going to read it out. So these set of tools and techniques with a systematic methodology, you can solve any kind of problem. And now a few questions to test. Can I have all of you on video? So I would like to understand whether so far it went well for you. What is the focus of Six Sigma? The focus is to reduce defects or reduce waste.
Reduce
defects.
And you have the clarity, right? The difference between defects and waste.
Yes.
Don't call defect
yes.
as a waste. Don't call waste as a defect.
Okay.
Ineffectiveness leads to defects. Inefficiency leads to waste.
Waste.
Six Sigma originated from which company?
Motorola.
And who is known as father of Six Sigma?
Bill Smith.
Smith.
The focus of lean is to reduce
Reduce
defects or
waste.
reduce waste.
Waste.
That
Reduce
means after lunch also you are all participating, very focused. Good to see. Answering all questions. An organization wants to improve their existing products. Which methodology they should use? DMAC or DMAT-V?
DMAC.
Whenever you need improvement, that is, improve from the present, then it is DMAC. You want something completely new, then only it is DMAT-V. If you use DMAT-V for a new product development or developing something completely new, it is called as design for Six.
Design for
You are developing something completely new, but you don't want to compromise on your quality. You want Six Sigma quality right at the first time. The approach is
Define,
design
measure.
for Six Sigma.
Design for
Those of you who
Define,
are
measure,
into product development, yes, the exact subject is DFSS. Approach is DFSS. Effectiveness means what? What is your understanding?
Getting the right thing in place.
Very good. Getting the right, output. Whatever is your requirement, you should be able to get it. This is called
First time,
effective,
right?
right? That means in manufacturing, producing defect-free products. In service, you can call it offering defect-free services. In general, defect-free outputs. That means we should do only the right things, not the wrong things. Efficiency means what is your understanding?
Optimizing resources.
Right thing.
Optimizing the
right things within the resources.
Using right amount of resources, right? Consuming exactly required resources. Even when you are taking the breakfast in the morning, you should know how many idlis you should consume even before sitting for the breakfast, right? So then only know you can check. So that means we need waste-free operations. Every single minute has to be spent productively. Right? We started today morning 9:30. Are we productive throughout the day?
Yes.
Before lunch, after lunch?
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course,
Till
we
now,
had
till
lunch
now.
break, tea break, and some gaps here and there. But we must be productive, right? That's the theoretically we should be productive every single minute. So doing right things in a right manner. Doing right things is Six Sigma, and that in a right manner is Lean. We need both. We should produce quality product, at the same time produce it in a way that it is efficient for the organization and it should fetch profit for your organization. Understood? So root cause analysis means not just identifying the root cause. Of course, identification is first step. Next step is validation. When validation is required, if people are not aligning with you, if they are not appreciating your finding, not appreciating the new knowledge you are bringing to the table, then you must validate. Now, find out the appropriate validation methodology, but the statistical methodology is experimentally demonstrating the criticality. This is called experimental demonstration. We conduct experiment, generate data, and with the help of the data, we'll prove and convince everyone that this is the root cause. And then study the relationship. And then you study the sufficiency. If you are ready with all the information, you are ready to talk about the solution. That's it from me. This is the first particular part of the session. If there are any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can proceed to the next part. So any questions so far on whatever we spoke? Are you able to connect it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question is, in the 5 page, you have explained the control, monitor and control the X. That X means we have to control the improvement, right?
Yeah. See, this is like, doctor giving the advice to the patient at the time of discharging. Right? He gives a plan. Why he gives a plan? Because he wants you to sustain the health you have recovered. And you should be able to maintain the health. Same manner, you solved a problem. And now you got a new knowledge. What is the new knowledge? Some of the X factors are playing, and so the problems are happening. Now you need to keep an additional eye on those X factors on a daily basis. If on a daily basis, if you monitor certain X factor, control them effectively, do you think the same problem will happen again?
No.
No. So this is called a control plan. This is called control plan. So the objective of control phase is to develop a control plan for sustaining the solution. Otherwise, what happens? You solve the problem and the same problem might appear again. We don't want to see the same problem again. So we have a dedicated phase which is known as control phase. Clear?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I have a question here. We are talking
Please.
all this for existing service or new design or product. But what about the research or R&D type of work? How Six Sigma can be applied on this?
Six Sigma can be applied on research.
Research and R&D work.
See, research is also you are trying to solve some problem. Am I right?
Right.
Same thinking is needed. Same thinking is required. So you should first of all understand what is your research problem, right? Then you need to know the current level and that, because when you want to solve a problem, let's say you want to develop a new material so that it can have the required hardness,
I'll come, sir.
right? So what is the target value of the hardness? What is the current level of hardness? The gap in performance. Now you need to figure out a particular composition of the material. You call it a composite material or something, and thereby what happened? You are able to achieve the desired level of hardness. So very much applicable in research also.
Sir, can I come?
Research is more about using the statistical tools. Yes,
Sir,
RK, sir, you can add.
Sir, can I come?
Yes, please.
Sir, can I come?
Yes, sir, please proceed.
Yeah, am I audible? Because I've been telling for 3 times.
Yes, you're audible now.
Right. Yeah, what was your question, Aritra? You were saying something.
My question is how
Oh,
we
yeah,
can...
understood. First of all, you said that it is for new product. No, this is not for new product, new process. Six Sigma methodology is for existing process and existing products. Clear? Understood? Okay, that is number 1. Number 2, you were saying that research. Now, first of all, why do we do a research? Right? We want to do something. We want to prove something significant. Yes or no? Right? How do we say that it is significant? We have to first of all tell whether it is significant. Then only we have to prove that how significant it is. Yes or no? To prove that whether it is significant or not, there is an hypothesis there, and the hypothesis has to be tested. And that hypothesis testing is the heart of the Six Sigma project, which will teach you the third phase, analyze phase. Clear? Okay.
Sir, Gopal sir.
If you are talking to somebody else, if you are talking to me, unmute and then speak.
Yes, Rajesh, you are asking something?
Yeah, so sir, from morning I have developed a better understanding about Six Sigma. I would say. Now I just want to understand if a system is failed and there we have to apply for Six Sigma, does the same formula applicable or there are some set of new things which we will learn?
What you are saying, system is?
If that system is failed, sir.
See, system is, a broader approach. Here we talk at the process level. We talk at the process level, right? So a system will obviously have elements.
Okay, sir.
Right? One of the element is your process. If there is anything, repeatedly happening, it is simply because of the nature of the process. So we need to think at the process level, not at the system level. You go to the process level, then at the process level, you should try to understand. You should think at this, in terms of CTQ. In terms of CTQ, and then you will be able to apply. So system is, what you believe in, a set of principles, philosophies, and together is called a system. But here we work at the process level.
Again, shall I come? Mr. Rajesh, what Gopal Sukumar did in the morning was systems approach. Yes or no?
Yes,
he
sir.
was briefly giving what is to be done, how we will have to be there, go for, understand what you want to know and what we are going to do, what you are going to learn, all these things, right? We have established a procedure for this now. On Thursdays, we'll have classes. Now what we are going to do is only improving the process approach, right? One by one, we are doing it, process approach, right? This session, whatever you did, how to improve this particular session, how to improve the next session, that is process approach. Every session is fantastic, means the whole system is fantastic. Project charter can be signed. Yes or no? Right? And you are all going to sign the project charter on the last day. Please keep it in mind. We will have a feedback session. All of you are going to give that. That is nothing but a project charter for us. And we are going to have a 5-star from all of you. Thank you very much. Hope we will be having a 5-star, right?
Thank you.
All right.
I don't know. I'll be.
Yes,
I'll be
thank you,
waiting
sir.
for it. Thank you. Yes, yes, Asim.
Okay, so what?
No, Asim has got a doubt. Asim? Yes. Okay. No, sir.
All
Continue.
right. So what we do is, we'll now proceed with a small exercise, right? Because You have been listening to me so long right after the lunch. So let's do a small exercise and then we will take a short break and then we continue again with another topic. Now, what we are going to do is a small activity known as GEMS experiment. All of you, have you brought the GEMS chocolate? Can you show it on the camera? Let me understand how many gems we have. I could see Mondal, I could see Rajesh. Who else? And Kishore. And now Chandrasekhar has got. Yeah. So, right. So now Subhash, I could see. Now many of you, majority. Very good. That's fantastic. Now let's try to calculate the sigma level for the process behind the making of GEMS packet. The GEMS packet they are making, So let us figure out the sigma level. Or, but by calculating DPMO, sigma level by calculating DPMO. So in order to measure the performance, first of all, we should define CTQs. That is what we have been talking right from the morning. Now for the GEMS chocolate, let us define certain CTQs. We don't have to spell out every CTQ because we are only going to have a discussion and some assumption we can have. Let me choose 5 CTQs for the GEMS chocolate to be acceptable by the customer. First CTQ, the number of chocolates inside the pack should be equal to 10. It's a 5 rupees GEMS chocolate. So the number, how many chocolates should be inside? 10. Wait for my instruction to open the chocolate, right? First, let us define the CTQs. The first CTQ is the number of chocolates inside. How many it should be? 10.
10.
If it is not 10, if you see any deviation, that's a defect. Having gems more than 10 is also a defect. Less than 10 is also a defect. First defect is understood. Second defect, cracks. Crack means if the chocolate is damaged, broken, or even if there is a sign of crack, that should be considered another defect. The first defect is count. Second defect is crack. Understood?
Yeah.
Now third defect. Third defect is color. You can have different colors. That's not a problem. That's actually a requirement. Let us have different colors. But color shouldn't be faded. You should not see any faded colors, or you should not see mixed colors, getting mixed up. That should not happen. The same single gem having 2-3 colors is not permitted. And colors faded also not permitted. So this is the definition for color defect. Hope the third defect is also understood. All right. Fourth defect. Fourth defect is with respect to the shape. The shape of the GEMS chocolate must be circular. If it is not circular, if it is elliptical, or if you see any sharp corner, that is fourth type of defect. The last type of defect is taste, the important one, the taste of the gems. You can actually taste the gem and judge on its acceptance. If you think the taste is really good, then it's not a defect. But if you say the taste is unacceptable, then that is a defect called as taste defect. Now, how many defects we defined?
5.
5. These
5.
5 different CTQs we are going to check. With respect to these 5 CTQs, what is the DPMO behind the making of the gems? We are not worried about other CTQs, packaging, and there are many other CTQs, right? We need limited time, and so 5 CTQs. So all of you can now cut open the gems and you can figure out your numbers. Please write it in your piece of paper or notebook. First CTQ is count. Second one is crack. The third one is color. The fourth one is shape. And the fifth one is taste. I'm going to collect data from you and then I will use the data and show you how to calculate the DPMO. The same manner, you can also calculate DPMO for any process, producing a product or offering a service. For that, I want to use an Excel file. So I open an Excel file here. I'll also be sharing this Excel file with all of you. Now I am going to. So if you are done with the data, please let me know. I will type it in the Excel.
Done.
Done, sir.
Okay. So let me go to the gems. Yes, here there is a sheet for gems. And now see here, gems chocolate, 5 rupees pack. You could see my screen also, right? And we have defined the defects. How many defects we defined? 5 defects.
5.
This is called defect opportunity. If there is any non-conformance happens with respect to our CTQ, we call it as a defect. How many opportunities for defect exist in each of the gem? 5. Now count needs to be 10. There shouldn't be any crack. Shape should be circular. Color shouldn't be faded. Shouldn't be mixed. Taste should be acceptable. Now coming here, first pack. Who is going to open the first pack? Yes.
Yeah, I have
Tell your
done, sir.
name.
My name is Asit. Can I tell you that?
Yeah. Asita, see, preferably people, please, you come on video. That will be easy to listen to you as well as,
Can you see me
Yes,
now?
Asit. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
sir. So first defect is you said 10 pieces. I have only 9.
Wow, okay. 1 minute. I'll just type 9. I'll tell you what to do. Now, have you noticed any color defect?
Color, out of this 9, I have 7 pieces are yellow. This is repeated.
No, that's fine. Specific color is not a problem. Do you see any color fading or color?
Nothing.
No color issues.
No color issues.
Have you noticed crack issues?
Yeah, one crack is there, sir.
One is cracked. Do you notice any kind of a problem with the shape?
Shape, no, sir. Fine. Shape is fine, sir.
How about the taste?
I
You
never
like it?
added. Yeah, taste
Like
is
it?
okay.
Okay. See here, he checked 9 pieces and reported 10 defects. 9 of the defects, I mean not 9, sorry. So 9, that means one short. Yeah, I'll type 1. So he reported 2 defects, 1 shortage of the count and 1 crack defect. Totally he reported 2 defects. So who is next?
Sir,
this
Rajesh.
is Rohit, bro.
Yeah.
One by one.
Sriram here.
Sriram. Okay, Sriram, you can tell your details.
So the count is 10. No issues on that.
No issues. Color?
No color, no issues. The mixed pack.
Okay.
No cracks.
No cracks. Okay.
Shape, I see 3 of the shape.
Okay. Taste, you find
Taste,
it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Who's next?
So Rajesh.
Yeah, it's me, Saran.
One by one. Rajesh. Yes, Rajesh, you give me.
I found 12, sir.
That means 2 extra.
Yes, one defect 1.
You're lucky, but process-wise, it's a defect. Okay.
Yes.
Color?
Color 2.
Okay. Crack?
Crack 3.
Okay.
Shape and taste is okay, sir. 0.
Shape is okay. Taste is also okay. So you reported 7 defects. Next.
Kishore here, sir.
Yeah.
Narayanan.
Okay. Count is 11.
Kishore, next I will take Narayana. Va?
Yeah.
Okay, next Narayana. So Kishore, you tell me yours. Count.
Count is 11.
1 extra. Color?
0 color defects.
Okay.
2 cracks.
Okay.
3 out of shape.
Okay.
Taste is okay.
Taste is also okay. Now Narayana.
Yes, sir. Count is okay. No issue. 10.
Count
10.
no issue. Okay.
Yeah. Crack 3.
Okay. Oh, crack 3. Yeah.
Crack 3. Yeah.
Color?
Crack 3. Color no issue.
Okay.
Shape is 2 rod elliptical. Slightly
Okay.
elliptical.
2. Okay. How
And
about the
taste is
taste?
okay. Taste okay.
Okay.
0.
Okay. Who's next? He reported 5 defects.
It's Saravanan. Hi, Saravanan.
Saravanan.
Yeah.
Yes, Saravanan.
Here, count is fine.
No problem with the count.
Color 1.
Okay. Crack?
Crack 1.
Okay.
Shape 3 defects.
Shape 3. Taste.
Taste 1.
Okay. Oh,
Taste 1.
Taste 1 means you like it? You
One
like the
is
taste?
different taste. The order is different. Something is different.
All remaining 9 you consume?
Yeah, yeah. I have taken.
Okay, only one you don't like. Okay. I asked you to only check one piece. You checked all the pieces. Very good. All right. Who is next?
I'll go next.
Ramesh, sir.
Ramesh.
Yeah. I got
Yes,
10.
Ramesh.
I got
You have 10, no problem with the color count. Color,
color, no problem. Crack, I had 2 crack.
2 cracks.
And shape, one is elliptical, sir. One is.
Okay. Taste,
Taste is fine, sir. Normal.
taste is fine. Very good. So who is next?
Chandrasekharan. Subhash.
Chandrasekharan.
Yeah.
Chandrasekharan. Yes, sir.
Count 1 extra. That is 11.
1 extra. Okay. Color,
Color, there are 3 defects.
3 defects.
Crack 2
Okay.
and shape 1.
Okay.
Taste is fine. No problem.
Taste is fine. You reported 7. Okay. Who is next?
Subhash.
Subhash.
So,
Yeah, Subhash Thakur.
2 issues. One with crack.
No, first of all, count is correct.
Everything. Yeah, count is correct.
Okay.
Crack, color is okay.
Okay.
Crack 1 defect.
Okay.
Shape 1 defect.
Okay.
Taste is okay.
Taste is okay. You reported 2. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more person can give.
Sir, Pradeep, sir.
Pradeep. Yes, Pradeep.
So didn't
how
get
many gems
any.
you got?
Yeah, 10, sir. So didn't get any problem with count, color, shape, and taste. Only, sir, I found 1 crack, sir.
Crack only you found 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all others you can have the reading with you. You can maybe combine and then do some calculation. Now let us understand the calculation. Randomly from 10 appraisers, you all acted as the quality inspectors and you gave me some data. Now see totally how many defects reported. I want to understand. So I want to sum up all of this. Sum of all this. So totally how many defects reported? Tell
42.
me.
42.
42 defects. How many packs we opened? 10 packs.
10 packs.
10 packs. That means the count should be 100. But what happened? In here 1 extra, here 1 extra, here 2 extra. So 4 extra and here 1 shortage. So totally 3 extra, right? So how many pieces we inspected? 1 or 3?
Yeah.
All of you get me?
Yes.
Right? So 4 pieces we got extra, but 1 piece we got shortage. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So which means we actually had 103 pieces. The number of units inspected is 103. Now going down. Units inspected. I type 103. How many defects reported?
42.
42.
42. So defects reported. I type 42. Now opportunities per gem is 5. If each gem has got 5 opportunities, what will be the total opportunities if you have 103 gems?
515.
How to get this? The 103 multiplied by 5. You all know the calculation behind. The 515 is known as total opportunities. Clear, all of you? Total opportunities, 515.
Sir, can you please explain again this opportunity?
See, defect opportunities, nothing but total opportunities. Since I had 103 gems and each gem can have 5 defects. So the maximum possible number of defect is 515. 103 into 5. 103 into 5, 515. Now I want to calculate something known as defects per opportunities. Imagine you purchased 100 apple for 200 rupees. Now what is the cost of each apple?
2 rupees.
2 rupees, right? So since you paid 200 rupees, you divided by the number you purchased, which is 100. So you got 2 rupees. Same manner, you have defects, 42 defects out of 515 opportunities. Now I want to calculate defects per opportunities. Like the cost per apple is 2. What is defects per opportunity? The formula is very simple, right? Defects divided by total opportunity. Am I correct? Defects divided by total opportunities. So let me just go with the calculation. Defects is 42. Total opportunity is 515.
15.
Now what is the answer? 0.08155. All of you are with me on calculating DPO?
Yes.
So far good?
Yep.
I need yes, right? So okay. So
Yes.
defect per opportunity is understood. Now, if one apple is 1 rupee, what will be the cost of 1 million apple?
1 million.
If one apple is 1
1
rupee, what will be the cost of 1 million apple?
1 million.
It's 1 million.
1 million rupee.
Million.
Similar question. If defects per opportunity is this much, what will be the defects per million opportunity? I should multiply by 1 million.
Yes.
What is 1 million? 10 to the power of 6. Either you move the decimal by 6 digits or you multiply this by 10 to the power of 6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 6. Now what is the answer you are getting? 81,553.
53.
This 81,553 is the DPMO. All of you, do you understand the calculation behind DPMO?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please tell me, will you be able to calculate DPMO for
No,
your
sir,
product,
can you just
Yes.
explain again?
for your service? Possible or not?
Sir, like we are taking the opportunity as 5. So this is like our assumption, na? Or
See,
it is coming from
here
some
we
calculation.
considered 5 opportunities, but real time scenario, you should go with real values. For time, for the sake of time, I considered 5 opportunities and then, took a sample of 1 or 3 pieces. As
So
the
one
more
question.
the sample, more, will be the clarity. Now tell me, will you be able to calculate DPMO for your product? What is the first step? CTQ must be defined. Product or service, CTQ must be defined. And then take a sample of 10 product, 100 product or whatever number and just document the defects observed. Once you have the number of defects and number of unit inspected and number of opportunities, the same calculation you can do. You can also calculate DPMO. But now coming to the reality. See, 81,553. 6 Sigma performance means 3.4. But here look at the DPMO, 81,000, several thousand times higher. Now, how is the business for GEMS? Is it going well? Because from the morning we have been talking about 6 Sigma, DPMO. If the DPMO is very high, then your process is poor. Sigma level is very low. That means business result should be bad. But how is the business going on for GEMS? It's going well, right?
Pretty good, sir.
Gem is good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. This is simply because either the CTQ we identified are wrong. One reason is some of the CTQs are irrelevant. Is it so?
Yes.
Always when you want to understand the reality, you must measure your performance with respect to the right CTQs, not the CTQs which you want. Which is important to your customer. They are called CTQs. Now, in this case, which is important to the customer? First of all, who is the customer here?
Kids, sir.
You are not the customer. Kids are the customer. That is another mistake I have done.
Here,
If I asked
taste
some
and
school,
taste and color is the first CTQ.
see here, taste. Except Saravanan, all others, represented the audience very well. But Saravanan could find, a defective piece with respect to the taste.
One defect.
Might be kids won't find it.
Yeah, kids even can't even find that. That's the reason why they are successful. So what is our lesson here is, one thing is we understood how to calculate CTQ, but most importantly we also understood other things, other important learning. The CTQs we consider should be the real CTQs, should be critical to your customer also. Otherwise, you might sometimes, miss out on a problem, or sometimes you might, over project a problem. So both should not happen. So what is the real experience with the customer? If you really want to understand, you must work with the real CTQs. All right, that's one thing. Now, 81,553. I want you to take it to the another sheet in my Excel, which talks about, the sigma, which is named as sigma level calculator. 81,553. When I come here, I type DPMO equal to 81,553. I just type this and give enter. Now immediately the Excel is letting me know that the equivalent sigma level is how much? 2.89.
2.89.
We studied in the morning. If DPMO is 3.4, what will be the sigma level? When the DPMO becomes 3.4, what is your sigma level?
6 sigma. 6 sigma.
Let us try. I type 3.4. What is the sigma level you are seeing here?
6.
6.
So
6.0.
hereafter, once you have the DPMO, please understand you also have the sigma level, right? For any value of DPMO, I type 50,000 here. Now sigma level is 3.14. Right? I type 75,000 here. Now sigma level is coming here. So I will be sharing this particular template with all of you so that you can also calculate DPMO and convert that into sigma level. And here there are two sigma level available. I will be helping you understand why there are two little later, but right now I'll only give the outline. One is short-term sigma level, other one is long-term sigma level, which means your short-term capability, long-term capability. Always in short-term, the capabilities will be higher. In a long-term, you know what happened? The capability will slowly come down because the equipments will undergo wear and tear, isn't it? And there are possibilities that, some new factors can also come and play. So as a result, the long-term capability will be lower. So statistically, the difference between short-term and long-term capability will be 1.5. See here, for a short-term capability of 2.94, look at the short-term, long-term capability. How much it is? 1.44. Can you notice a difference of 1.5? All of you? This one minus this one. Always you will find this relationship between short-term capability and long-term capability, and the meaning of it we'll understand little later. But right now, the difference between short-term and long-term will be 1.5, and which will be higher? Short-term performance will be higher. Short-term capability will be higher.
So is it
So
like
that's
always it will be 1.5?
Yeah, it is always 1.5. This is a statistical assumption.
Okay.
This 1.5 is in terms of standard deviation. 1.5 standard deviation is considered as the increase in the variation. As a result, sigma level will drop by 1.5. We will talk about it, a little later in depth. All right. So hope the DPMO is understood. Sigma level calculation is also understood.
Gopal sir, 1 minute, Gopal sir.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Asif. Could you just again quickly brief about the DPMO calculation, sir? I just got missed there. I have a technical issue. Just sorry. Just,
okay. So we will forget about the GEMS exercise. We'll do something new. Let me type here. Imagine you have a product in which the quality inspectors are checking the CTQs. How many CTQs? Let us define. Can we assume 10?
Okay,
Yes.
The quality inspectors are checking 10 characteristics in your product. Diameter is they are checking diameter, they are checking length, they are checking surface finish, several things they are checking. Now imagine your quality inspectors taken 100 samples. How many samples? 100 samples. After studying 100 samples, they have found 23 defects. This is the scenario. Now we need to find out DPMO. For finding out DPMO, first we should know total opportunity, right?
CTQ into samples.
Asita. What is the total opportunity?
10,
CTQ into samples.
10 into 23.
CTQ into samples. So CTQ is 10, sample is 100. So total opportunity is 1000.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now I want to go with the defects per opportunity. Defects, how many defects happened? 23.
23. Yeah.
What is the total opportunity? 1000.
1000.
So defects per opportunity is 0.023.
0.20.
Now what do I want? DPMO. What should I do? The DPO multiplied by 10 to the power of
10 power
6.
6.
Now how much
So
is your
that's
DPMO?
23,000. So 10 to the power of 6 is the formula. sir.
23,000.
10 to the power of
What
6
do you
is the
want?
formula to calculate. Correct, sir?
I'm not getting you.
Hey, 10 to the power of 6, we know that's the formula to calculate. That's what I'm asking.
No
1
problem. Now
million.
you
10 to the
understood.
power of 6.
Yeah. Got it, sir.
Now I type DPMO here. Now sigma level is 3.5.
Okay.
Easy, so easy.
Yeah, got it, sir.
So DPMO calculation, sigma level identification. What is required is CTQs have to be understood, and you must have a data collection plan. How much data, how much sample you should take. Because more the sample, better will be the prediction, isn't it? Please note, we are only getting an estimate of the performance. We are only getting an estimate of the performance. So the better the quality of the data, more the amount of data, better will be your prediction. This is statistics. Statistics always has got certain limitation. The
Sir?
limitation mainly depends on data quality and amount of data. Yes?
Sir, can you little bit explain this one level LT and ST, like how you
Yeah.
understood or assume if 3.5 is
Okay.
at the higher side or lower side? What
All right.
images should come in our mind?
I understand. See, imagine whole day you attended some, today's training program. Imagine I keep an exam today itself based on whatever we discussed. Will you be able to perform better?
No, sir.
Yes, yes.
Comparatively, yes.
Yeah, it's an open book exam. You can have all your, you have noted all the important points, and the questions are exactly as per the discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could perform well. This is your short-term capability.
Okay, sir.
Suppose if I conduct the exam after 6 months, the tendency is to forget, isn't it?
Yes.
So your performance will come down. Always, the long-term capability will be lower than the short-term capability.
Okay.
In the business scenario, imagine you designed you developed a process and you are running the process. You see great results. But do you think the same process will give same level of result after 6 months?
No, sir.
So long-term capability will be lower than the short-term capability.
Okay.
In terms of sigma level, it will differ by an amount equal to 1.5.
Okay, sir.
By an amount equal to 1.5. So a 3 sigma process will eventually become a 1.5 sigma process. A 6 sigma process will drop to 4.5 sigma process.
Okay.
So statistically, there will be a difference of 1.5. But in
Okay.
how much time that will take, that differs. Some process will lose the capability, or some process will shift after 6 months. Some process will shift within 6 days.
Okay, sir. So our
It
reference
varies
point
from
is 3.4. So our reference point is 3.4. Closer to that.
3 point. See, if the DPMO is 3.4, your sigma level is 6.
Okay, sir.
DPMO is 3.4 means sigma level is 6. But if it is higher than 3.4, your sigma level will be dropping.
So can we say
And
that?
don't worry, the calculator will do that job.
Okay, can we say that if 3.4 sigma level is coming means this is good quality or something like that?
Sir, please note 3.4 sigma, 3.4 DPMO.
Yeah, 3.4 is DPMO, not sigma. See, ultimately we want to achieve, the maximum possible capability. So 6 sigma is a benchmark. Sometimes, if there is a necessity, you can go beyond that also. But 6 sigma is a benchmark reference. You should certainly you can go up to that statistically. But some processes, if you feel like 3 sigma performance itself is okay, then it is fine. Critical process, you keep the capability higher. Less critical process, because if you want more capability, then it costs you money.
Yes.
Isn't it? So wherever the parts are critical, processes are critical, aim for higher capability. Imagine you produce a component and a component that goes into aircraft engine. Now that component quality is very critical. If that bolt fails, it might even affect the performance of the engine. So you should maintain higher standards, higher capability. But if the same belt is used under your seat, then it's not a problem, isn't it?
Yes.
So you need to judge on the criticality and accordingly set standards.
Yes, understood.
Right? Wherever it is too critical, you try to aim a higher capability.
Okay, sir.
All right, you see in the chat box, I have shared the the Excel file, Sigma level calculator. If you want to try on your own, you can try, right? You can download and then keep it with you. So what do we do is, we will
Has to be
presentation means it's a presenter view.
there is so
1 minute. So
Yeah.
screen 2. Now it should be full.
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
It is good.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. Okay, done. Right. So now let us proceed. Read the question and try to find the answer. If a customer segment complains about delay in responding to their queries, what is the metric that can be used to track the performance?
Response time.
Response time.
Response time.
Because the customer is concerned about the response time, and so the CTQ is response time.
Response time.
You should also have a definition and formula to calculate the response time. Formula or the way to measure the response time. Now next question. If a customer segment complained about a longer transaction, a metric that can be used to track performance is
Transaction
which metric?
Transaction time.
Transaction time.
So very good. Dash comes within the business and dash is provided by the customer.
VOB and VOC.
VOB and VOC.
The last option, VOB. Voice of the customer. See, voice of the customer is always concerned about the effectiveness. But voice of the business means the voice of the leaders in the organization, the management. The management voice is generally considered as voice of business. That will be more of more concerned about the business results. So we call it voice of business. Now, to capture the voice of the customer, it is important to collect data from a large representative sample of the target customer base. To collect the data, as a Six Sigma practitioner, you can use which one?
Survey
Will you use?
Survey and questionnaire.
Surveys and questionnaire, right? These are all irrelevant because the quality of the data is very important. Whenever you are not sure about the quality of the data, try to collect the data fresh. Now,
the quality and the relevance of the data. Relevance.
Exactly. Quality as well as the relevance. In terms of measurement, in terms of sample, you must have the quality. Your sample should
Sir,
should
please,
be a real representative of
please
the
go back.
population.
Sir, please go back to the slide. Yes. What is the answer? Government.
Surveys and questionnaires.
Okay, fine.
Now, there is an example for CTQ tree. Here you can see the voice of customer drilled down to CTQ. What is the voice of the customer here? Good customer service. Can you see this statement broader and vague? You can't exactly understand the meaning of customer service. Isn't it good customer service? So you need to drill down the requirement. You need to ask multiple questions with your during your survey and figure out the exact requirement of the customer. So now when I ask the customer what do they mean by good customer service, they are telling me this. One is the representative must be knowledgeable. The other one is the representative must be friendly. The other one is short waiting time. Now what do you understand? This is happening in a call center. This is happening in a call center. In a call center, what are the customer requirements? Representative speaking on the other side should be knowledgeable. He should be friendly. And then always the caller must be put on a short waiting time. So what the customer mean by knowledgeable representative? The answer given are always correct, right? And second thing is the representative can answer the question on the spot. If the representative research for the answer, then he should bring it quickly. These are the three things that helps you to measure the knowledgeability of the representative. All of it you understand how to know the meaning of knowledgeable representative? Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here it is vague. Here we identified a particular driver of satisfaction. Now the specific requirement is understood. See, once you write down the specific requirement, you can call it a CTQ because you are now able to measure. After completion of every single call, the call center is receiving. Have you seen that some survey is conducted asking for the quality of the call, whether the your query is resolved? Are you happy with the executive? That is
Feedback.
simply because they are trying to measure their performance with respect to the CTQ. The survey questions should truly talk about the CTQ. Otherwise, your survey will not help you to understand your performance. All right. Now, what do we mean by friendly representative? Friendly representative means customer is greeted by name. The moment you connect to the call center executive is asking, hello, Mr. Chandrasekhar. Tell me, how can we help you today? So the moment you see them, calling you by name, then you feel friendly. And similarly, the customer is not interrupted while explaining his problem. Do you understand the meaning of friendly representative? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you think you have not understood the meaning of a friendly representative, then you must further interact with your customer. You ask him only. You can ask your customer till he can make his requirement specific. Now finally, short waiting time. Short waiting time means the time placed on the hold. Every time we call the call center of the bank, then the call is picked by recorded voice, isn't it?
Yes.
Dear customer, your call is very important to us and you will be attended shortly. The same recorded voice will run for about 20 minutes. Even after 20 minutes also it will say your call is very important to us and you will be attended shortly. Now the customer is really getting irritated because the system is putting them on hold for more than 20 minutes. It is not the experience of just one customer. Almost majority, they are having the similar experience. Now what happened? The call center will get lot of complaints from the customer. So now as a call center manager, what should you do? You should try to work on the call holding time. You should try to work on call holding time. What is call holding time? The time from the moment the call is connected till the real executive connects in the call. That is known as call holding time. Can you see here? Time placed on hold. Please tell me, will you be able to measure this?
Yes, sir.
If you think you can measure this, you can certainly improve this. If you are confused on how to measure, it is very evident that you are not going to solve the problem, right? So now another metric with respect to the short wait is customer is transferred quickly to the person who can help them. Sometimes escalation is needed. So after speaking to an executive for more than 30 minutes, he will say, sir, this problem will be handled by manager only, and manager will start from the scratch, and that's not fair, right? So now whatever you see on the right side, they are called CTQ. And the statement you see on the left side, that is called voice of the customer. In between the two, what do you see? You see some drivers of satisfaction. So the drivers of satisfaction will help you to understand the CTQs involved. And CTQs are completely measurable and they are more specific in nature. Now, another example. What is the customer voice here? Can one of you read the customer voice?
I just need a quality footwear.
Okay. So what is that customer mean by quality footwear? Now, if you really want to understand the CTQs, you must identify, first understand the drivers of satisfaction. Can you tell me some drivers of satisfaction with respect to footwear?
Should be comfort.
It should be comfortable. Very good. That's the first driver.
And size should be accurate size.
Size, yes, size
Durability.
is also coming.
Durability.
Durability. Very good. One is comfort, another one is durability. And then
Sir, Rumi is again size, sir.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And then it should be
Stable.
safe to use.
Sir, cost.
Yes, cost also. Yes, cost also. See, this is only illustration purpose. Cost only. So first, initially, you should identify the drivers. Then you can drill down the drivers into CTQ. See here, lightweight. How do I know whether my footwear is lightweight or not? Overall weight in grams. Let's say the weight of the footwear is 220 grams or 250 grams. Now I understand how is my product performing with respect to the competitor's product. Comfortable. Comfortable means heel height. Heel height is one metric. Sometimes, one driver can lead to multiple CTQs or multiple specification. Durability. Durability can be measured in terms of usage. Usage in terms of number of days or number of years or number of kilometers. Whichever is appropriate, you can use. Roomy enough means the inner dimensions of the footwear. Inner dimensions. After wearing the footwear, do you still feel it, some spacey? You should be able to move the fingers. And stable. Stable in the sense, the heel flatness, heel flatness should be, throughout it should be flat. Now you can see on the right side, more specific requirements, which are measurable, which are actionable. So this is called a CTQ tree. You can use it to convert the voice of the customer into critical to quality characteristics, which are measurable as well as actionable. Now you see some additional examples of CTQs in my slide. Can you see? Different industries, manufacturing, electronics, household, FMCG, and you should have a good idea about the CTQs with respect to your product and your service. All right. So will you be able to come out with some example CTQs with your current product or service? All of you? Possible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you can bring with a list of CTQs, we can certainly make corrections if some changes are required. Now look at my slide to understand the CTBs, critical to business. Now see here, none of these metrics are important to your customer, but definitely important to your business. Can you understand? Market share, share price, cash conversion cycle, your defect percentage, your overall equipment effectiveness, your process capability, your cycle time, lead time. All of these things are related to your business. So they are known as critical to business, right? And critical to quality characteristics are always represented as Y variable. However, your critical to business characteristics are represented as Z variable or Z variable, right? So you need to understand CTBs are different and CTQs are different. However, there will be some relationship, right? So VOC, VOB, customers, and CTQ tree. Hope it is clear to all of you. If you are able to understand all the statement, you can read and then let me know if there are any difficulties. Easy to understand all the statements? Any challenges? All of you are fine with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Similarly, there is something known as cost of poor quality, which means the cost associated with the failure. And failure can be internal, failure can be external. Internal means it is deducted within the organization. External means it is deducted by the customer or it is deducted by someone outside of your organization. So cost of poor quality can be of two types, internal failure cost and external failure cost. The warranty claim and product recall. Do you think they are internal failure or external failure? Warranty claims and product recall.
External.
External failure. External failure.
External.
So your internal rejections and scrap rate and your rework rate, these are all internal failures, right? The cost associated is known as internal failure cost. But in general, together they are known as cost of poor quality. Normally, people think that cost of poor quality is marginal, but actually, if you document them properly, then you realize how intense they are. If you look at my slide, I am showing an iceberg. If you actually look at the iceberg, there are two portions of the iceberg. One portion is visible, which is seen above the water level, whereas the other portion is invisible, which is actually inside the sea. And the same manner, the failure is also of two categories. One is visible failure, another one is invisible failure. Visible cost of poor quality, invisible cost of poor quality. The visible failures, if you account the visible failures with respect to the sales, you will understand 4 to 5% of the sales are burned in the form of cost of poor quality. They are nothing but the rejections, warranty claims, repair, rework, and all of this. But if you bring the hidden problems to the surface, then you realize 20 to 45% of the sales are burnt in the form of cost of poor quality, which means there is enormous opportunity exist to maximize your profit. For that, you should identify and bring all the hidden problems to the surface. You can see here. Now tell me, are you able to understand all these kind of failures, or do you want to ask me anything? If you are okay with everything, then that means it's really good. But then you should also be able to account them, right?
Sir, please explain lost market share.
Lost market share. Suppose, imagine your market share is currently 40%. 40% is your market share. But after 6 months, you have lost, your market share with your competitors. So you came down from 40% to 30%. Do you think that is also a loss? Obviously, isn't it?
Yes.
Why you lost your customers with your competitors? There were some laggings during that period. So that is also a cost of poor quality. So most of the time we don't account all these failures. So everything must be accounted. Then we realize the exact quantum of cost of poor quality. If you include all these failures, then you realize the percentage. It's not just 4% or 5%, it is around 20%. Longer setup time, changeover time. Any changeover that is happening should happen in less than 10 minutes, particularly in a manufacturing setup. Changeovers, the die changeovers, shift changeovers, all of them should happen in less than 10 minutes. Whenever you consume more than 10 minutes, that should be considered as a failure. The project must be initiated. And now,
so in the
this
last
curve
slide, what is, so just one question, what is the lost OEE?
Yeah, OEE means overall equipment effectiveness. Overall equipment effectiveness. So in order to calculate the OEE, you should consider 3 factors. One is the availability of the equipment. Imagine you have a very costlier equipment in your shop floor, and it is half of the time it is under maintenance. Half of the time it is under maintenance. That means the availability is only 50%. Isn't it? So you can think of several equipments which are poorly utilized. Maybe for several reasons. It is not only maintenance. Sometimes for several reasons they don't utilize, right? And now the purpose is, first thing is we should understand the availability, and then you should understand its performance, and then you should understand its quality. The availability factor, performance factor, and then quality factor. All the three decides OEE. Imagine out of 100 hours, the equipment is available only for 80 hours. That means 20 hours it is down. Now what is the availability? 80%.
80%.
Right? And now in terms of hours, 100 hours, 80 hours it is available. So in 80 hours, the equipment has to produce 800 units. The equipment has to produce 800 units. However, the equipment actually produced 560 units only. Now what is the performance?